This is Naoki Yoshida,
This is Fern Hall.
and you are listening to Aetheryte Radio.
Aetheryte Radio.
Here we go!
Hello, and welcome to Aetheryte Radio. Gamerscape's Final Fantasy XIV podcast. We are going to talk about preliminary patch notes.
You had that pause, and I was like,
I
did
did.
you forget how to do it the normal way?
I was really sleepy today. I woke up. You ever have one of those mornings where you just wake up and you just kind of lay there and you like hit your alarm and then you're
Every
like,
morning.
I'm just gonna not.
Zen, that is fair every morning. Today I was feeling that too, though. Although I have to say, for a second, I thought your pauses were you letting us possibly do some memes, some jokes, some nonsense, because we've been interrupting you so much anytime you try to do the intro. So, you know, this time we just let you go, and there was just silence.
Well, you know, it's funny because also, like, you know, I have my monitor set up, I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, Rook's muted again. Hopefully she remembers to unmute her mic. As we were setting up, I think, what, three times, 4 times, Rook would start talking, and it's like, can't hear you.
I'm like desperately trying to read your lips so I don't have to tell you again.
My brain is turned off today. I'm not gonna lie, everybody. It's rainy here. It's like
just
cozy.
one of those
cold.
days.
It's just one of those days.
Yeah.
Also, I do see Terrell in the chat saying that we're missing somebody today. Who? No, there's only ever been 3 of us. No, pretty much normal here.
That's I don't know. Weird.
No, I'm kidding.
The most important member of our team is missing.
Yeah, Aldino's super busy with work right now, so he sat this one out. So hopefully, Rook is just what?
Because Aldino said in the chat, "How dare you?"
How dare you? Question mark.
That's a. This isn't TND. We don't need you anymore. We can no.
Wow!
Whoa!
Fusion does not speak for the opinions of everyone here.
I
Clearly,
said I
he
was
talking about
kidding.
killing Oriange. I don't want Oriange dead. He said we don't need Charles. I definitely want Charles here.
I mean, look, if I had
God.
to pick between the two, I'd rather have Charles here.
I don't even think it should be a decision.
No.
I mean, that's kind of a weird comparison when I think about it out loud.
It's a little strange. I mean, look, Aldino, we miss you. We love you. We can't wait until you're back with us again. We're going to somehow get through it this week. I don't know.
I don't know how. Me and Rook are just like a mess this morning. I don't know. This is going to be terrible.
If you need an example of the industry having crunch time, our lack of Charles is an example.
Okay.
On a weekend, nonetheless.
Yes. All right. So today we're going to talk about the preliminary patch notes for patch 5.5, Death Unto Dawn. I'm sure that's not, foreshadowing anything. Nothing at all.
It's not ominous.
Before we get into what's on the lodestone, however, fun bit of news here. Somebody on Reddit saw this and pointed this out. If you look at the patch notes on Steam, it says that Data Center Travel is set to come out with 5.58, which hasn't been mentioned anywhere, which hasn't been, it hasn't been talked about since the announcement showcase. Oh yeah, no, we were saying
they're not going to leave that stuff. Yeah, they're not going to leave that stuff till like the actual expansion. That would be a shit show.
Oh, it'd be
and
terrible.
As with the last time, they're not gonna do that to us.
No,
they're gonna have
we were
a nice, the smoothest MMO launch ever.
Yeah, I mean, we were predicting it would come before the expansion anyway, just like the other stuff did, the world visitation. So it's not a surprise, but it's nice to finally hear something about it. Kind of odd that they've been so quiet about it. So obviously this isn't on like the official lodestone, so there's a chance it could be inaccurate. But I mean, considering that Steam Notes also leaked the fact that Kalusia was an area in Shadowbringers, and that was accurate. I don't have any reason to doubt this. So 5.58 for Data Center Travel. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's nice too to let people kind of do that, not only just from a technical standpoint for everybody. Obviously they need to test how it works and make sure that it's smooth for the launch of the new expansion, but it's kind of nice to let everybody do that a little bit before the new X pack even hits, so that, I don't know, you can reconnect with people, go do some stuff, maybe run some content, kind of experiment with it, and get hyped as you like lead into the next expansion. And we'll just see. I'm hoping that with the new X pack and stuff, you'll be able to actually kind of do like you can with World Visit, where you can actually go to other worlds and quest and hang out with people and maybe do stuff on other data centers.
I
And
think
all
it'll
those
be
people who
yeah.
left your servers because they were afraid of not being able to raid can now come back and visit you when their raids are over.
If I had waited like a year and a half, 2 years, I could have kept my medium house and still played with people I know.
But you wouldn't be in the static you're in now, and that would be sad.
That's true. That is a very, very fair point. Gahu in chat, Fusion X doesn't get his house back. That's right. You knew I was going there. I want a house so bad. I keep seeing all these really cool house things like this the past couple weeks of like, hey, look what I did with my house. I'm like, that's cool. I don't have the space to do that.
One day, Fusion. One day.
Yeah, I think it's a great timing for it, especially right now with you look at how things got pushed back a little bit because of COVID, and we have now a fall expansion release instead of summer. So I think having that data center travel between like the end of this patch and before the expansion, I think that's going to give like there's nothing new to do, but you can like play catch up with people that you haven't been able to play with before, and I think that's going to keep a lot of people around playing the game. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't have to play my potioned leveled paladin anymore if we do any more streams.
It was fun. It was very
I'm not saying it wasn't. But I could just play like my character, like my main one
3
character.
DPS, 1 healer runs. Those are fun.
Oh yeah,
Those are great.
Yeah, no, that'll be great. I'll tank on machinist. No worries.
No, you won't.
So that'll take us
More
into...
than likely Charles will be tanking on Summoner.
I mean,
gotta use that Titan Eggy for something, you know what I mean?
Now I'm sad because I missed the back in the day before they patched it when you could do the Ramu fight with all Titan Eggies. Like an 8-person summoner party with just Titan Eggies tanking.
I love that stuff.
I wasn't able to get
hilarious.
in on that before they changed it. I was like, oh man, that sounds like it'd be so much fun.
Any content that's made for the traditional party setup with a different setup and doing it successfully is so much fun.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm over here like blue mage is the worst. I don't like blue mage.
Yeah.
I don't make any sense. Ignore me. All right. So new MSQ quests have been added, obviously. There's one of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we're going to be getting with this. And again, this is part 1 of 5.5. So with part 2, we'll get a little bit more that'll help bring us into Endwalker. So I don't know how it's gonna end with just this cutoff, man. It's anything could happen.
I just have this feeling. I have this feeling that it's going to be really epic, and I'm hoping it's not too horribly cliffhangery leading into the the full expansion release, because I'm going to die if it is.
They can
curl up.
Well, they can make it cliffhangery, but do it with these 6 quests and not the next few, right? Because there's a smaller gap for us to go crazy with.
I'm sure there's going to be something, but even just on like the official Final Fantasy XIV Twitter account, they've been doing a countdown. So like each day they're like 3 more days until the release of the patch. And every day that I see it, I just sit there going like, oh, please, 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 please don't make me suffer too much before the expansion, please.
I am not a masochist at all, but I'm fine with it. Make me suffer until the patch. Make the story amazing. As long as the story is amazing, I will suffer that handful of months. Just being hyped the whole time. The better they make this, the more hype I'm gonna be as we wait, and it's gonna make the whole experience better. Promise.
Of course. I mean, yeah, it'll be great if it is something like that. I mean, it's funny because even when I got to the part in the bridging of the gap between A Realm Reborn and the Heavensward with the whole Nanamo shenanigan that happens, I was lucky at that time because I came in when Heavensward had already been released. So I didn't have to wait and just be like, everybody dead and I don't know what's happening, you know? So part of me is kind of hoping for something like that again, but the other part of me, like I said, I don't know if I can emotionally handle it. But as long as it's good, as long as, the story is good, like you said, Zen, I mean, I guess it'll be fine. We'll enjoy it and lead to an amazing final expansion. before our next story arc. I know they're going to do something great.
No. Yes, we're going to be sitting here and they're going to be like, hey, also check out this new blah, blah, blah in the expansion. You're like, how does that attach to the thing that we just saw? How is this related? How is
Well,
it going to get there?
You know, you
Rub-
mentioned that. You know, looking at the calendar, we're just about a month out from FanFest already.
Yep.
So that'll be coming up real quick. I can't wait. I'll be curious to see if anything that happens with this patch makes it into that opening cutscene. You know, if they backpedal a little bit and they're like, hey, remember that time Nanamo died? And it's like, oh, God.
I actually had a thought.
Okay.
With couple times ago, we were talking about how maybe Alphino, when he was punching that tank, he was upset because he couldn't save Alize. And I was thinking, as I was putting my little Alize figure's little doodle bob on her head, you know what? He'd be way more upset than just punching a tank if something happened to his sister, right?
I mean,
so it's
they
probably
would-
not
Yes.
her.
Why would they give her a whole new wardrobe for like one patch?
That I
That's
mean,
a good point.
like Charles said, they do some time skippy stuff with that CG thing. So, but Alphino's reaction be way worse, like way worse.
I mean, Alice did also say, though, in recent patches, when do I get my new outfit? So I feel like the new outfit thing could very much, yes, be a look for the new expansion and not just some sort of, ha ha ha, faked you out, you did. Because then I will be dead inside, and then I won't be okay, even if the story is really fantastic. So I'm
gonna be
really
fine.
hoping that she doesn't die. But I am hoping that if somebody does die this patch,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a real dead. Which
A
is tough
real
because
dead.
I know it's tough because of course I don't want to see anybody that I love like get just
Sure.
completely decimated. But that is one thing that always felt kind of weak to me about that plot beat with Nanamo, right? It's like this huge thing happened with these huge repercussions. Then it was like, oh no, she just sleeping, she fine. And I sat there kind of going, why did you do this to me?
Because they had already started working on the CG trailer and they didn't have enough time to go back and, you know, that having been said, I think out of like all the different intros that we've had for the expansions, I think Heavensward is still my favorite, Dragoons aside, just because it really has that kind of like, wow, we lost kind of like not a good vibe going into this, right?
All I can imagine right now is Warrior of Light just dropping the axe, like, can't use this right now, and just going full Dragoon. Like, I don't even care about either of those jobs, but it was still like,
I get
oh.
chills when I think about that, because that was the first
Yeah.
FanFest. The axe drops, you see the Dragoons, and I'm just like, I lost my mind. It was so good.
I watched it on a phone in a bed with a hangover.
Oh no.
I mean, you do you, Zen. You do you.
I was getting texts from people, did you see the... No, I didn't. I'm sleeping.
Okay, so in addition to 6 new MSQs, we also have Yorha Dark Apocalypse. We're gonna be getting the next raid, the final bit. I don't know, man. Like, the more I see about this,
you don't have to like the story for it to be fun mechanically.
The more I just see about Nier in general, like this past week especially, like, it's just really like, this is Square Enix just going like, please buy Nier Replicant. They're like, hey, the game's gone gold. Here's a picture from the game. Also, it's the same boss that's in the next raid. Like, they're really just like, see this, and yeah.
I mean,
It's like, all right.
it's like an extreme version of them being like, hey, look, Final Fantasy 15 came out. You can get a car.
Yeah, but that was like way after the point, though. This is like when it, like, isn't Replicant coming out like this month or next month? Like, it's
And
pretty
they're
close.
just doing better on their
release-wise.
timing.
I mean,
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure this isn't something that, I mean, again, right? Like, a company promoting its own titles is something that we see all the time. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
unusual.
It's nothing
mean-
new. It just feels weird, especially like right from my point of view, where it's like, I could care less about this already, and they're like, hey, it's actually just a big marketing gimmick, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, though, that this is one of those things where we've had this raid happening for a while, right? And we've seen a lot of times that, I mean, Yoshida-san really does seem to want to collaborate with other artists that he is inspired by or finds interesting. So I don't really know if we've ever had something that really felt like, yeah, he was just going, well, Square Enix told me I had to, or I'd get put in the punishment corner. So this is like,
Monty
Well,
says,
And you know, we
replicate
did talk about this last
23rd.
week too. Like the music is good, the mechanics are really great in this. It's just some other
yeah,
stuff,
I mean,
but whatever.
I'm sure there was a discussion held that was like, hey, we do have this thing coming out, so why don't we put one of the bosses that's featured in it? I have no doubt.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's just business sense. But all things said, I've had a lot of fun day of with these. I think it's fun to go in and just see, like you said, Zen, like what the mechanics are like. I have loved some of those parts where they've dropped the beat or they've surprised us with some of the little, in between things, or even just the landscapes I think are really neat. So I'm excited from that standpoint, even if overall the Nier raids haven't been my favorite raid set that's ever
Yeah,
existed.
and for me too, like because again, like I've played like a little bit of like the first Nier, wasn't a fan. I've tried Automata like several times. I just couldn't get into it, and so like the fact that they're kind of pulling on older stuff for this, like like with the factory, it's like, oh yeah, this is kind of like the first part of Automata, and then you get into like the spaceship, you're like, oh, I remember this from like the few hours I played Automata, and now we get this new one. I'm like, I have no idea where this is, why I should care, what's going on, and so like I feel more disconnected than ever from this stuff, and
You know
so
what's
like,
funny is I actually have more of a connection to the old games.
okay,
Again, never played them, but my friends did in high school when we would all often play games together. So I'm more familiar with those
gotcha.
particular characters.
Yeah, it's everybody's got their own exposure to it. It'll be interesting to see how it gets perceived by everybody.
Popola.
After the raid, there are going to be weekly story quests that could be completed, and there's 3 of them. So I'm wondering if it's just build up to like 1 week. I can't imagine they would be like, here's 3 weekly quests for this raid. That seems a bit.
Maybe each raid will give you like a different outfit or something.
Or it's like one for each raid. I don't know.
Maybe
I'm really
each raid will
curious.
give you a different weapon or something.
I mean, we do know that they're adding in the hairstyles. So there's that, but I'm actually not sure because I didn't quite check. So as we go through, we'll find out, I'm sure, if they said where those are coming from specifically. But we do know that they're adding in at least the 9S hairstyle, like the sort of 2 iconic ones here. So that's a thing. And I am wondering, like, are they going to put anything ever in with the weapons? And like we were talking about previously with the different style, like we saw those previews of the cosmetics that were, one looked very much like Nier Automata. Another one looked like it was heralding back to sort of Drakengard stuff. So I am wondering too if there's going to be some kind of way that you can trade for like a cosmetic version of those.
Well,
Or
I mean,
it's a good idea too, because they'll have put all of this content out, and they're like Rick was saying earlier, there's going to be a big old gap. So they're taking something that they've already put in the game and making you farm it again, basically.
Well, I mean, we do get
a theoretically really good reward
for these alliance raids. They do have like the stuff where you can like take tokens from all the raids and exchange them for orchestrion rolls or whatever. So I would assume that that would be the case as well this time around for something. And
True.
I think I read that the black pod minion I think is going to be a better drop in that first raid. I think that's further down.
Oh, that's good.
Fun.
I think I read that somewhere.
The only other thing that I could think of with this is that, and I think it was mostly just them teasing. Like, I don't necessarily myself think that this is really going to happen, but there have been a few drops or mentions of the fact that they have said, oh, maybe we'll subvert the formula. Oh, maybe it's not going to just be 3 raids. Oh, maybe it's. So it could be something too with that, whether it's additional story that's happening and like somehow these weekly quests tie into it. I mean, I personally don't think that, especially with the crunch they've had with Pandemic, that we're going to see a 4th raid added in with Nier.
Especially with what they've been doing with Boja. I mean, we've essentially gotten like other 24-man raids. And we're going to be getting another one with 5.55. So I can't imagine that they would do another one. That would be so weird.
Wouldn't it be like wacky if they stick with the whole like you make choices thing, and you have to do all 3 raids again and make certain choices during this whatever quest it is, and you could get different endings, kind of like they do in Nier.
I mean, that's a possibility, I guess.
It's like way out there. It's probably not going to happen, but it just popped into my head. Like, wouldn't it be crazy if?
in the back of my mind, I'm just like, oh no, not again with non-canonical choices. But I mean, maybe could be.
It's okay if these are non-canonical, right? Because it's near.
No,
You
it's
don't
not.
care.
Oh, I mean,
See, I don't care. I love choices. I love different outcomes. I think something like that would be fun, but I know Fusion personally would probably self.
The lore
That
needs to
might
be
one of the
very specific about
most times
exactly
I've seen
what
him,
happened.
Like, wiggle around.
I could not understand what either of you say. You said a whole sentence right over each other. So you gotta have to take it again.
That is one of the few times I've seen Fusion wiggle around, just like really wiggle, like oh.
Audio people are just like, okay, we'll take your word for it.
You gotta put it in there. They gotta know how upset you were that you had to flail.
I just want everything to be canon and to be accurate. Did the guy die in Arsenal? Did he live? Who knows? Nobody. Because there was a choice.
I mean, it depends on your personal journey.
Yeah.
But what about the encyclopedias? What will the encyclopedias say about this event?
There will just be nothing about that choice in the encyclopedia.
Wow. All right. I think my mentality about this is more of like, I'm just like thinking about when they do these lore books, and I'm like, oh my god, like how are they gonna even address this now in the lore book if there's multiple choices? Are they gonna just like pick one, but then does that invalidate all the people that picked the other? Like it's a mess. It's a mess. Anyway, so yeah, I'll be really curious what these weekly quest things are gonna be for Yorha. We're also gonna get the conclusion to Sorrow of Werlet. Only 2 quests. So that's like, all right. Hopefully they're jam-packed full of amazing milkmanness. I love that the first one is called Duty in the Sky with Diamond. Localization
That's
just
good.
knocking it out of the park again. So great. We will have
Duty in the sky with diamonds. There we go, Zan. I finished it up for you.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
I am excited. I am curious though, if this, I feel like this could mean one of 2 things. Like you said, Fusion, either those 2 quests are jam-packed and we get a lot with the conclusion. And I mean, that's fair. Even with the previous step, a lot of those different quests, there was so much in those cutscenes. They were hefty. So it's very possible that this is something that happens. But maybe this could also be an indicator that this plot or this villain or this thing is going to somehow tie further into the next expansion. If there's only 2 and those 2 kind of lead into
you're getting my hopes up. I'm getting so excited now at the prospect of a 6.0 Milkman.
I mean, it's just possible. It's possible. We don't really know. They've been tying these sort of supplementary or bonus primal quests into the story in ways that we haven't really seen before. So this could just be that they directly knew, hey, leading into this next expansion, we want to do more setup. So rather than retroactively making a primal set something that's relevant to future things, why don't we just use what we have here with the development time to set some things up that we might not be able to elsewhere and then lead into a new thread in the story? So it's possible. Is it something that, again, we have any precedent for? I mean, no, not directly like this, but I think that the sort of connotations and zones that we've seen and the unique map assets and all that kind of stuff does a little bit make me go, well, maybe this will have something to do with Endwalker.
Mm-hmm. Well, and remember too, we don't know what the next Alliance raid will be. We know that the 8-man will be Pandemonium. We know it'll be original. They said I had to double check. I'm like, I don't think we got that. It'll focus on a piece of Eorzean lore that has been a mystery for a long time. A lot of people are maybe hoping.
I hope it's Mericidia.
Mericidia would be fun. I mean, Silver Tear Lake, I think is what you were going to say, Fusion, right? I mean,
aren't those tied together a little bit?
There are connections there with Midgard and...
a little bit. Yeah, so who knows?
Although I would like to just go to Mericidia and not have it just be a dungeon. So
I mean, we're getting that. That's gonna be the hard part with this expansion, right? It's that okay, here's the story 6.0, it's done. Now we have like a new arc starting, but there's also like theoretically, I mean, we don't know this for sure. I feel like we know it. Like, it's not going to be like all of a sudden, hey, here's like a new area that we're going to go to and stuff. It's just like all these areas that we've already been at. And so I'll be really curious to see how things go down with the end of 6.0 and getting into 6.1. But we'll see. I hope I you know, if we're going to kill Milkman, give him the death he deserves. I just want a big, fantastic death.
He went sour. Just dump him down the drain. There's nothing you can do.
Wow.
Wash him right on down that drain. No, I agree with you, Fusion. I want it to be big because I actually do think he's been a really, gosh, he's so good to hate. You know,
It's
love
so
a
weird
villain.
having a side quest guy that you love to hate more than like the main antagonists. Both two main antagonists.
I mean, I do love to hate Xenos, but not in that like quality good time feels way.
Quality
different.
good time hate feels.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm excited. I think obviously I'll do MSQ first, but like immediately after that MSQ, I'm going into Wordlet. I need to know what happens. We're also going to be getting a new custom deliveries NPC. So that'll be something you can do. I mean, again, it's going to be this is like the last big kind of like quality of life stuff I feel for like crafters and gatherers, because we're going to be getting another custom deliveries NPC, and then we're also going to be getting those festivals in the firmament for the fets for more XP. So yeah, this should be super easy for people if you need to get any more crafters leveled up here before 6.0 drops.
The one nice thing about these two is that I think a lot of the custom deliveries agents and the stuff with Ishgard, right? So even if you're not super into it from the craft and gathering perspective, if you are somebody that does like the story and you really want to see how Ishgard is essentially kind of recouping after everything, or even if you're like a role player that has a character from Ishgard and you're curious about what sort of canonically is happening in Ishgard post Dragonsong War, I mean, there is a ton of lore in these things. And I was surprised by that. I was surprised. Like, L2 alone has a ton of stuff. But even beyond that, a lot of the custom delivery agents and things that they've added do actually give some interesting story and kind of follow-up to a lot of different things. So,
And rewards.
And rewards, which is great, too. Also, they have...
dragon.
I think we maybe just jumped over this one, but we are getting that new mount, the dragon mount.
Oh, I want
which
that
they
dragon.
just sort of... They mentioned as like a little, and we get a quest, and it's gonna give you, if you have all the different Gwybirds, you're then
Giant, awesome robot freaking dragon.
I heard yesterday, and I don't know if this is true or not. I just heard it down the grapevine that is a 2-person mount.
I've heard this as well.
Okay,
I've heard that too, actually, but I don't know.
I don't know from whence this information came.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, either way, freaking robot dragon. Like, this is
It'd be cool if it is. It would make more sense, honestly, for them to give us 2-person mounts on the ones where you go and you get everything, because it's not necessarily an easy ordeal. The fights aren't the worst, but you do a lot of them, especially if you do it with the static.
Yeah, I think like if anything, this is gonna be like data center travel opens up. All right, dragon farms, let's go, everybody. I need my robot dragon. I haven't wanted like the end of the line like quest mount more than I've wanted this robot dragon. Like hearing like, yeah, it's like a shiny horse thing, like whatever. Robot dragon, sign me up.
I really like the bird.
Don't you sass my Kirin. It's a simple boy, but a good boy. I do also love the Phoenix. The Phoenix is by far, I think, the coolest of the lot. And for me personally, I just think that like the size of it, the effect on it, the like the feel of that mount, it truly feels like an epic legendary mount. And I just feel like some of the others haven't quite. I mean, the Foxy Lady one is cool, but again, I couldn't believe they didn't just add that in as a reward for the Foxy Lady and the Foxy Lady fates. It was super
and Kirin
weird.
too. They tacked the wings on after the fact, right? Because it was before Heavensward. So like, we'll give you these weird glowy stick wing things. Enjoy. Whereas the Phoenix are like, all right, we have all the stuff we can do now with flight, and
Yeah, I'm not super into the new robot dragon, as I've stated, and as we all
It's
know.
okay. It's okay.
It's all right. I mean, I would have much rather had an actual really cool special effect dragon that was flesh and blood, or I think conversely, I would have almost rather had all of the Gwybers that you collect be like robots, and then they all form together to make the mega dragon. Like, it just feels
I
really
mean,
weird to me that they are all like, I don't know, it just seems strange. If you have this like
mhm.
direct connection, I feel like there should be an evolution, you know what I mean, of the original concept of mounts and then what happened. So I think that's why this one caught me off guard so much, because
Sure.
I was just sitting there like, what? Why do we get a robot dragon? But we
Two
got
things.
Congratulations,
Hina
you've
and
defeated Hades. Here's a robot dragon.
I mean, so Hina in chat
Alright.
says that there's an image of two people on the mount, so that's probably where that
There you
came
go.
from. When you said they took all of the dragons, like that phrase, just in my head, suddenly I'm forming up like a flight, like a da 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 da, da of dragons, right? But that would be nuts. I would. That doesn't make any sense. They'll never do that. But just like you're like riding the head one, and all of the other ones are
Mhm.
behind you. Like,
Oh,
let's go! Yeah.
no. I was talking about like
No, I understood what you
you
said.
know,
but
like
what
a
popped into my
robot
head?
where
Yeah.
like you like mega combo, like you see in a lot of the different like mecha anime, or
I grew up
even,
watching
like,
Power Rangers. I understood I
No,
know
no,
what you're
no.
going
I got
for.
it. But I'm thinking of it in terms of how the dragons are now. So you
Hmm.
just like make a swarm of dragons. But then my brain went further because come back. Where are you going? And it was like, and that mount is an 8-seater mount. And you just have one person who controls this whole bunch of derpy looking dragons while all your friends ride on them.
It's more of like an organic Megazord, like the bats in Batman Ninja, where they just form this giant. Yeah. If you haven't seen Batman Ninja, fantastic animated film, so good. So
Next
ridiculous.
next 8-person mount, merry-go-round.
What?
You guys are like, huh? No, it's just like,
Is
six
this
little,
like
carousel
a Kingdom Hearts thing? Like what?
You get it from finishing all of the Unreal stuff, because all of those original fights so far gave horses, and they just put the horses on a merry-go-round.
Okay, Zed. Okay,
It makes a
all right.
little more sense after
It
you
is
explain
starting
it.
to come together. I was completely lost. I'm not gonna lie.
Correct,
I had
yes.
no idea what you were on about for a second.
I'm
But
telling you, my
now
brain
it's
just like
starting.
went and was like, let's think of dumb stuff, and that's where it landed, and I'm gonna bring it back now.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, I could see, I guess, something like that. I don't know if I'd love it or hate it, is the thing.
I would love and hate it. I'd be like, why would you do this? This is terrible. I'm using it everywhere.
I feel like we're just gonna
honestly,
get.
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I feel like we're just gonna get some kind of recolor of Kirin. If they even do.
I don't think
a
they're gonna give us
correction.
anything. No.
I mean,
I don't
yeah,
think
I
they
have
would
no
do that.
idea.
I think really what we need is to get the brute justice mount. Like give us like the robot from like each robot, and then like give us just the full on brute justice to like a multi-person mount. If we're gonna do Megazord, I mean that's the example, right? Is good old brute justice.
So adjustments have been made to the summoner job quest to be second best.
Yeah.
I know, this is a weird one. I don't understand why this is happening, but
Do we know what the quest is? Like, what does it even involve?
See,
well,
this is when we need Aldiano.
I know.
He could tell us what this is about.
He said he thinks Arenvald is dying. Who's
What?
Arenvald, Charles?
Okay, Arnvald straight up is a major NPC in the game Final Fantasy XIV that we played, Zenidra.
Which now has a free trial that lets you go up to level 60. It includes the
Arnvald's the guy that has the cross across his face and is also has the echo, and he was part of
He was the guy that was hanging out with Alphino when we did the Scala dungeon.
Okay.
I mean, it's possible, because he would be somebody that could be killed off, that would maybe be just a little emotional, but not the most emotional, and Zen wouldn't care at all, because Zen doesn't even remember that he exists. So that'd be fine. I could see that. I mean, I was gonna say that even though Aldino's not here, we are part of this website. I don't know if you two have heard of it, called Gamer Escape, where
Doesn't
if you
ring
go
any
to
bells.
Gamer Escape and you like look up the quest name, it'll tell you what that quest involves and where you get it.
And
That
it's
sounds
been a long
awfully
time.
convenient.
It's been a long time since I've seen that guy. I looked him up. I remember that guy. It's just been a very long time. As I recall, I liked that guy. That was a nice guy.
Hmm.
He a nice guy, yeah. He pretty chill. He pretty
Good.
chill.
don't know
Yeah,
if
I mean,
I'd-
maybe he's dying.
I don't know if I would have many emotions over it. Like, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. But like,
It's
I
been
would be
too
like,
long.
no.
They
Like,
need to give him like a section of story first to be like, oh yeah, I remember you. You did this, this, and this.
I mean,
And you murdered.
They could
kill
easily
Fordola.
pull. Okay, well, but we can't because Fordola's important to me personally. And also, as we talked about previously, I don't want to see any more female characters getting killed off. Give me a male character that's getting killed off next.
That's
I need
right.
it.
That's fair.
kinda-
That's fair.
I feel like they need to either completely go with the parallel to Tsukiyomi, what's her face, or just completely break off and be like, nah, 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 nah. She had a bad end, but Fordola, she gets a good end.
I think they might be taking us that way. I mean, I agree that I don't necessarily think that this is gonna sound silly. Arnvald to me does feel like a cop-out as far as deaths would go. Because again, he is a character with relatively low stakes who I remember and I think of him fairly well and fairly
Oh.
fondly. And they could do something like they did with Elidibus, where we just get punched in the feels and suddenly we love him more than we ever knew we could love. But
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I could see maybe him and somebody else dying, but with this rework for the summoner quest, my first thought was like, oh, maybe something is going to be happening where they are doing some kind of other summoner rework behind the scenes. Sorry, Aldino, I don't want to get your hopes up. And maybe this is like a preface to some of it, but it sounds like maybe it's more of
So-
a specific story beat.
Yeah, so what Charles has said to explain to people like me here was going, how's that relate to summoner stuff? Arnfeld is a summoner. Haha. And Charles says, he's the other summoner dude. I think they're changing the quest to make it make sense without him, or maybe for Dola.
Huh.
Okay.
But
Maybe
I'd be
he's-
mad at both.
Maybe he's getting some other kind of canonical class, or maybe Fordola is, and they decided to rewrite that, and then maybe it's no, because we all think that Xenos might be the next representative of whatever DPS class it is. So
Well, I mean, you know, it could also be, you know, Fordola had some of those traits too.
True.
I don't know.
Summoning necromancy, hand in hand, skipping down the lane. I don't know.
it is interesting to me. Now, Hermit says in chat that Arnvald isn't a summonator. Isn't a summonator. Oh my gosh!
Summonator.
Gladiator.
I tried to combine summoner and gladiator. into one.
Summonator.
I mean, maybe he is Summonator. You can be that. You can be more than one class in the game.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy
true.
14 Online that has a free trial where you can play up to levels. No,
We need to do an entire show where we just play that
Okay,
out.
so
like,
he's
every
just
time.
part of the primal squad. Charles meant by he's another summoner dude. He's in the
Okay.
squad.
Okay.
My mistake, because I don't know this guy. I'm sorry.
I was gonna
Armory,
say
Armory System's looking at Arnvald like, what? But that's a sword, but you what?
I remember him having a sword and a shield. Yeah, so that does make sense. Yeah, it could be something with that. I think that would make sense. But this is the first time that we've actually, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the first time we've seen them actually go back and like change the story content.
If they do.
If they do.
Yeah.
No.
Will change the story content of specifically a job quest. But have there been other quests where they've like retroactively changed something, like removing a character from a quest kind of thing?
Only like really decent retcon I can think of was just the name of the final boss in
That's what I was thinking
Labyrinth
of
of
as
the
well.
Ancients. Yeah. Nothing else really comes to mind. I don't know that they've ever like went back and changed. I mean, they went back and changed like music once, like one track. I can't.
Neither
think
of them
of
has
anything
to
else.
die for them to change that quest, right?
Well, but I mean, it would kind of make sense though, right? Because theoretically, you can do those quests at any time. So if you had some, I mean, this would be, you'd be, I mean, I guess maybe your main character. could have been much further than that. I would hope that you had done these quests if you were playing through on Summoner as your main, but you know, with like alts and stuff, you could be past a point where one of those characters dies, and then it causes some sort of continuity error if you were to pick up Summoner and then do this quest where this character that is dead is not dead. I mean,
I don't think they would
could make
change it
sense.
for that, because I mean, go back and look at, I think it's was it one of the culinarian quests at like 50 or whatever. If you do that after Nanamo dies, there's like, who's that? She's right
That's
there
true.
eating my food. So I think just time bubble, whatever, just ignore it, let it go, whatever. I don't think they would go back and change, you know, and of course, as soon as the patch comes out, I'm sure we'll have people comparing it and seeing what's different in it as well. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that and see just what exactly they changed. I mean, and again, right, they just say like adjustments have been made. It could be like, okay, instead of going to like this place, you go like 2 coordinates over or something. You know, it could be something completely plot irrelevant. So who knows? We'll just have to wait and see for that.
New chapters have been added to New Game Plus.
3 of them. 3 whole new chapters that you would have already played. So technically they're not new, I guess. Eden, Sorrow of Orlet, and Tales from the Shadows. So more stuff that you can go back and play if you want. New stuff for treasure maps, adjustments of the rewards for treasure dungeons have been adjusted. New craftable items have been added to the company workshop. Again, this house glamour.
Look how cute it is. Ah.
I appreciate how different it is.
I love this. I would absolutely adore it if they went in and again added more things like this, or even stuff that like for each of those wards that has their style of housing, right? I would love to see some bonus extra super fancy exterior like this released for all of them. I mean, can you imagine if you had like a little house that had some sort of, I don't know, little lavender garden patio thing that was just a part of it in the lavender beds? Or I just really like how this breaks up the space and gives you just a different silhouette to the houses, because I get so tired of just seeing like the same kind of box.
Well, and it does so much more with the yard a little bit too. Like it takes, you know, instead of having that box, it actually gives you a little kind of like a patio almost. Like it's really cool. And you know, I think we'll probably be getting a lot more of this in the future, hopefully.
I want to see the large version of that. It's so bad.
We know, yeah. So this is probably medium.
That's small.
That looks like a small.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's very square.
Because the medium is very much like a longer rectangle, whereas the small is like, whoop, it's like a square on
like
one side of the lot.
We know that either the medium or the large has like stairs that go up to like the balcony.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like some, you know, like that's crazy.
You're right. So we have seen the small and the medium then, but we haven't seen the large yet, would be my guess on this from the pictures that we've seen the site and now the patch notes.
I'll be curious how crazy the materials are for this. Maybe I'll have to go down and make use of the free company workshop for this.
I know. I'm worried it's gonna be like 5 billion million jillion gil. So worried.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not dipping below my 50. Just, you know, in case, you know, the 1 in 10,000 chance of like a large plot or something becoming available randomly. But yeah, this is definitely like one of those things. Like, I hope I see a bunch of them because I want to like check this out. This looks really cool. I'm happy that they're making it so different from anything that we've had before, and that it's not like, hey, we have like a new house glamour. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's got like badgers just all over. Giant badgers here, or beavers, or whatever, like some random animal. Like, yeah, it's a carbuncle house, and there's like giant books on it, and it's like, all right. This is a little more practical.
Cute. They're cute, they're whimsical, but like you said, it doesn't feel as serious. Like if you're actually trying to have a house that is a house that you would kind of live in. I mean, unless your character has a lot of whimsy, I do like seeing things that are more kind of reflective of the actual sort of architectural styles of the areas that they might be in, or they feel
Mhm.
more like an actual house that would be within the
It's not a house
landscape.
that looks just like a giant paisa. It's like if all the cars in Eorzea looked like the van from Dumb and Dumber, like that was like decked out like a giant dog. That's the comparison.
I mean, they cute. I like the big dumb. We have, I think, or we used to, we don't anymore, but we used to have like the chocobo one on. Some of
Mhm.
those are fun and they can be cute and they're great for like taking silly pictures and whatever outfit outside and stuff. But it is really nice to see some more options that I think, especially with the housing community, it's just grown so much. There's such a refined base of like designers and players and people who are having so much fun really creating these unique spaces. So just like giving them more to work with, especially outside where there are such limited housing spots. Like that's one of the things,
Yeah.
the slots on those yards are always so frustrating because you might want to do a lot, but you really don't have that much to work
You're
with.
very limited in space and more so especially just the number of items that you can have. Like if you're a small it's like 10 or 20, it's like such a small amount of items that you can use. Like I would love to see them do like, so this is like an armor smith or blacksmith kind of thing here. You got like your various fire things to work with here. I think it'd be cool if they went back and did like a cafe one where they have like tables on the outside that you could actually like have chairs to sit in. Like obviously you wouldn't be able to like move them around and stuff, but like that would be cool.
Yeah, the real dream would be if at some point they made various, additions like this modular, where that like
Oh my gosh.
balcony segment or that patio segment would be like a whole piece that would take up like one slot that you could just put or you can move around. I mean, as it is, I'm sure people will kind of like glitch various things into other things or just like stack things on top
That
of things.
that does bring up an interesting point though. I mean, we do have they're not extravagant, but there are kind of some modular slots on the houses, right? We have like the chimney, and then there's like that kind of little
Overhang
thing on the side. But
thing.
where would that go on this design?
Maybe it just floats where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can't use it here. I'm curious now. We'll have to find
Or maybe
out.
I
they
actually don't think you can add those to the special ones already, because like you can't add a
That
fence.
might be.
They already
Yeah.
have.
That's
fence.
true. That's true. Yeah, yeah.
That's
You need the
true.
fences as well.
But
Yeah.
that does bring up a good possibility of them adding something more like additional customization slots, right? Like you were saying, you can, put this thing on or the fence or the gate or like maybe in the future they could add an extra slot there that would be something like a patio slot that you could optionally enable and have those items that could go in there. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it's
But also housing furnishings.
and just housing in general. But we've again we've spoken
That's
at length.
the next bit.
about
That's the next
that.
bit.
Yeah,
They
we
have
have
some
new ones.
pictures of furnishings. I think we mentioned
Oh,
before
I see.
the big wall
I was just
shelf.
just afraid of going on that tangent again that we often
no,
go
no,
on
no,
to.
no. Just talking about it.
Yeah,
Big wall
we
shelf
got like
of
a
alchemical stuff, and I like
we
right
have-
next to it there is like a wine shelf with glasses, and I'm like, I don't think that you should have your glasses right
That's-
next to your alchemy potion shelf. That's not a good idea. Don't do that.
It's for the purposes of
booze.
display.
It's
It's
booze.
for the purposes of display, Zed. But it is super cute, and I've seen
Very cute.
people like create these, right? Where they like are able to kind of get various things to look like hanging glasses or stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's nice now to just have a piece that is actually a wine shelf that has some wine and spirits, and then these hanging glasses underneath it, which saves you, I mean, a good like 4 or 5 items if you're trying to do something. If not, each individual
Yeah.
glass,
Yeah, anytime I see stuff like this, like my mind immediately jumps to like, oh man, Sly and the Azure Lounge are gonna love this piece, right? Then we have like this like acorn chandelier. I don't know that it's necessarily my thing, but it looks pretty cool as far as like
It's
acorn
cool.
chandeliers go. Yeah,
It's
it looks
cute.
really neat.
The only thing that would be better about this, and I don't actually think that this is going to be what it is, but it would be hilarious if that was some kind of Clan Nutsy reward. where you can end up with this nut chandelier. It would just
We needed
delight me
Charles
so
again
much.
with the nut button.
See that's
Net.
the random ass update that we need after 5.5 but before 6.0. Just add a whole bunch of different nut furnishings, right? You get your walnut chair, you get like a peanut table.
Maybe there'll be
Yeah.
cloud acorns like the Pisces stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Just like
Okay.
straight up crafted or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell what kind of
Um,
fruit that is in that little adorable basket?
They look like apples. I
It's
think
either
they're
apples. I think it's apples. Could maybe tomatoes. Probably apples though, because there's
I
there's
mean,
a little bit of greenery. I can't tell if that's from the handle or from the actual red
Yeah,
thing in there.
it is kind of a weird mix because there's a little tabletop item. It looks like that is a wicker basket that has a little blanket draped in it with some little flowers on the side, and then I think they are apples, and then a bottle of wine. And I
Well,
think
you know what would make sense, and this is gonna be my head canon out. It's just wheels of cheese covered in wax. It's a wine and
Cheese
cheese
apples?
basket.
Little
No. You know, like how you get
baby
like the little
Little baby
cheese
bell.
things, and they're like they got the wax wrapping on
I
it.
mean, yeah,
That's
but
that. It's wine
these
and
are
cheese.
they're clearly apples. They have stems, fam. They have stems
Do
on
they though?
them.
Because I think that the little bit of green over the apple, I think that's from like a wrap around the
No,
basket of the handle. I don't think that's coming
they-
off the apple
They
itself.
got stems. I have zoomed in.
Okay.
Oh my
They have a
gosh.
little indentation on
Enhance.
the top. I've enhanced the image.
Okay, I'm gonna
And
open this
they
up
have
in a new
little
tab. Let's
stems.
zoom in on this thing. Let's
They
see
have
here.
Oh
little
my
stems.
god. I'm gonna
But
go
it
like
is-
make a drink.
CSI Eorzea over here. Okay. They do in fact have stems. They are apples.
Thank
we have
you.
confirmed it.
Yes. This was crucial. I mean, it would have made almost more sense for it, yes, to be like grapes and cheese, or something akin to that. But I guess whatever. You do whatever you want. You go have
Apples
some
is cute.
apples. You go have
Yeah.
some wine. You have a nice
So
night.
these are all stuff from the furnishing design contest that they've been doing. So in addition to that, we're gonna get some other furnishing items, including a beer sign with pumpkins.
I think it's an Oktoberfest sign, right?
That makes sense.
I mean, I don't think they have October in a Eorzea, but yes, it is an Oktoberfest sign.
Various gordons.
And the thing I'm looking for, these projector wall things, whatever these are, I cannot wait to get these. And for anybody jumping in and is also like, heck yeah, these things look awesome. Check the housing vendor NPCs first. Something like this feels like they could be obtainable from that.
I bet it's gonna be a craft like a fish tank.
Yeah,
And
I mean
bet
that's
you
the other
have
thing
to get the
that comes
images
to
like a
mind
fish-
is the fish tank or the paintings. But I feel like if that were true, they would have talked about it a little bit more. In that regard, like I don't know. All I know is that I need Amarot on one of those like now, preferably like 3 weeks ago. Like just I cannot wait to just get a bunch of these with Amarot.
I have a friend. What up, Mark? Who's been trying to turn his house into a blacksmithery for like years and years and years. And this next bunch of furniture is just all blacksmith
That's
stuff.
it.
Are
I
you
mean, it
excited?
definitely complements that new glamour that we have. I mean, there is another like smithing glamour that we have already, which is actually kind of cool. I use it on my house, but with the new stuff, yeah. I mean, this is you got your anvil, your armor, and yeah, it's going to be great for anybody that's been wanting to do that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. There's a lot of just really nice little bits and bobs. That showcase window, there's like a little bar thing. It looks like maybe we even have some new window drapey kind of shenanigans happening. Or maybe a new window that's like
these walls are kind of the same, right? So we have the projector, but then they also have a version of it where you can use it kind of like you can do like a window effect.
Yeah, no, I was actually referring to like the actual, it looks like there's a new window item. So like, it looks like the one that we're seeing in the image above, that it looks like either new windows that are partially opened with curtains or like individual pieces. So like, yeah, you can absolutely overlay like the windows on one of those screens and then like make it look as though you're looking out.
I don't know if that's part of the projector piece or if it's just like an overlay for it, because they had talked about doing that. In fact, we'll find out. We'll find out. That's like my first like, okay, I want to jump into the MSQ, but first, can I make my house have windows that look over into Amaranth?
New item preview.
Oh, that's true. That is, yeah, that's a fun thing. If you forget that exists, if you go into your house, you can open up your furnishing stuff and there's like an item preview. You can just look at everything. so
There's a
good.
checkbox at the top left. Check show only new thing.
All the new stuff. You can see exactly what it is, how it works, and how it'll look in your space, and that really was a great adjustment for that. New orchestrion roles have been added. That's it.
Cool.
That's the note. I mean, obviously,
I like
we're gonna have
music.
new fights and stuff like that. So, let's see, new aquarium fish
Big
have
mouth
been
shark.
added. Just a
He looks
giant
like
shark.
he looks like a whale shark. Whale sharks have these big old mouths.
New seeds
Put
for flower
the
pots.
orchestrion, but orchestrion with the new rolls in it, like right next to it, so it's like he's singing it.
Oh my gosh.
His mouth is open wide. He's a whale shark. He's got a whale song shark.
Downside is his animation is on par with like the doggos from the Primal Mount, so his mouth just always stays open. It doesn't move.
That's fine.
It's just like static.
Just float your orchestrion right in that mouth.
Right in the mouth. Just right. Put it. Get the little one like he's eating it. Just kind of put it halfway in the. Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. Or a Namazu. Just have a
big
Namazu
one
kind
in
of
there.
poking out of
Not
the
that
mouth.
big a shark.
No. We're gonna
These
have
flowers are beautiful.
a new seed for flower pots. Moth Orchids.
They're
So,
real pretty.
There
I can't
you
wait to
go.
grow some.
I don't think I ever did flower pot stuff. I did gardening for a while, like almost religiously, like when I first got my house, and then I'd stopped carrying it out. I don't think I ever did flower pots.
I like flowers in my hair, and I like to put flowers around my house.
They're
So,
cute.
yes.
I also think they're kind of a fun gift or like in-game character gift or things like that. Or if you role play, it's fun to, be like, here, have these flowers, and the other person gets to grow them, and it's very cute. It's just very adorable. And then you have them and they're just in your house. It's like a fun little reminder.
Well,
I mean,
and yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that you can do with things like this, and it doesn't have to always be just because you're into gardening or whatever it is in the game. Sometimes it's just fun if you haven't explored that, or to just do something
They
cute
only
with it.
take a day to grow.
And I think flowers are one of the few things that you can do for Fira and Hrothgar, right? I think all the different flower stuff is. I don't mean this in a negative way. I mean like it's. Anyway,
No,
all right,
don't
moving
even
on.
get me
New triple
started.
triad cards have been
Because
added.
No, I'm sorry. I just want to take 1 second because this personally hurts me this time, Fusion. This time in particular, because maybe it's that those new near hairs are going on the Mog station. I don't know where I saw this, and I'm curious about this now. But there was an actual note on them that says they will not be wearable by Vera and Hrothgar. And
Well, of course they won't be.
in a rage. Like, I just, when is it going to end? When is this madness going to end?
It's not. Rook looks like she's gonna kill somebody.
I don't get it. Like, if this is happening, where's
Look, Rook!
my...
The milkman got a card. He's a triple triad as a card.
Don't distract me,
doesn't
Zed.
even have anything higher than an 8. That's sad. That's disappointing. That
But
milk,
yeah,
he's got strong bones. He should have at least a 9 on one of those 4 spaces.
It's one of those things where if we don't get like a CC expansion or whatever it is for this, I just feel like we should get some sort of unique hair pack for VR Hrothgar or something. Because at this point, it really is incredibly frustrating and ridiculous. And that's all that I have to say about that. Until next week, when I'm back again to share more feelings on this. Yeah, look, he's got a card now, Zed. He's got a triple triad card, which either means what? We're just gonna get it from it, or we're gonna kill him in this next patch, which is possible.
Well,
I
it
don't
could
know.
be.
We have cards for people we haven't murdered.
I mean, they have packs from a million things, right? It could be a new like gold pack card that they throw in. It could be a drop. Who knows?
This is
It
how
could
we
be a thing you
defeat him. We
buy
just
with
roll up
MGP.
with his triple triad card. Be like, "Can you sign this for me?" And he's like, "Oh, fan." And then you shiv him.
You've really thought this through, huh, Zed?
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with those triple triad players, man. They'll get you.
I don't play triple triad.
You should.
Zed's gonna learn how to play triple triad, become a triple triad
Just
master,
to shiv him.
just to shiv this guy.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's fine.
Um.
Some goals are worth it, right?
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If that's the ultimate death build up we've been waiting for, somebody's just like, hey, sign my triple triad card.
He died to his vanity. It's very fitting.
I mean, it's very good. I could see, Yoshida-san's just like, we heard that some people were saying that they didn't feel as though Triple Triad was as important as it could be. And since we've put in some new things, we thought, why not make it so that Triple Triad becomes a part of the main story quest? There's a new form of trial.
I just had this really amazing idea in my head, and I'm sad because I know it's probably not going to be what happens. But could all the kids kill Valens?
Everybody's been talking about that, bro.
Burn
yes,
out the bad.
Just
that whole
that.
scene. That's the first. Okay, I'm missing out, I guess, on various.
Yes, they can do it, but also I don't feel like the responsibility should fall on children. Like, I'm gonna be real here. That's gonna mess them up even more than this man ever did. So to me, I'm like, that's when an adult steps in and is like, you have endured abuse and you now need to recover. We will kill this bad man so that he doesn't have to, his dying screams don't have to haunt you for the entirety of the rest of your existence.
Maybe an adult takes the lead and then like saves the kids, and then as they're walking out, one kid just kind of looks at him and just like kicks his dead body and walks out.
There we go.
This is maybe heartless or screwed up, but I'd be all right with the kids killing him. Just like, that's sort of a thing, like, you think about as an adult, you think back and you're just kind of like, I really should have stabbed that guy who was so terrible to me.
I mean, Zen, yes. Do I? Okay.
Wow.
Is there
all sorts of feelings coming out here today?
Is there a sense, I think, of thematic satisfaction for something like that? Yes. That this man who taught these children violence then dies by the means of the thing that he instilled in them, right? Like, yes. But also, from a more like one-on-one, individual, personal, in this world, thinking about like real people in like a real basis, right? Like, I think that's the kind of thing where, like, for those children, that is like a path of no return. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
to
fair.
murder, like to murder.
I mean, I feel like they're also pretty messed up already. Is this really
the adults are just on the side waiting to hug them when they're done? It's like, no, it's okay, it's all right.
Good job. Here's an Ironworks teddy bear.
It's like
you all are now adopted.
We see with the pilots, right? Like, we see with the pilots that they themselves were children that came up in this system, and that they themselves are saying, like, we want to spare what we have like had to endure. We want to spare others from this, and we don't want others to have to be made into these like weapons that we have been made into. So we're going to take on this responsibility to do this. And so, like, for me, it would feel real weird if those kids did it. Like, I'm going to be honest.
With that explanation, that makes way more sense now. Then it's like the merry-go-round. It's like, what?
Now, like,
same page. I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, it's like if the grown children that have been, like, the remaining surviving grown children that have been piloting those, or like the remaining son who, what's his name? The one that the daughter's trying to spare, who's going to be the last pilot.
Was it Rex?
Rex. If Rex did it, that I think would be really justified, because they are at this point adults that have like processed in some way the trauma that's happened to them, and or have like already committed those grievous things. So like for me personally, I'm like, no, I would not like to see children do this, because I think that'd be really messed up for the connotations of their existence. But for the adults that have already processed that or been subject to that and who are now trying to spare others, I'm like, yes, that would be more fitting for them, because they are adults and they know what that means, if that makes sense. Like,
so I really want to just know when you're gonna do these cutscenes so that I can watch your reactions. just in case.
I put up all my reactions to Emerald Weapon. I'm gonna put up the next one.
There you go.
I'm gonna have some feelings.
All right. I'm excited.
Or maybe whoever pilots Diamond, if it's not him, just steps on him. They finally just do what we've been saying all. Like, you're in these, Max. Why aren't you just doing your thing now? Why are you doing the stupid fight thing? Like, if you're gonna rebel, like, do it when you get in the giant thing. Anyway,
that is the biggest plot hole.
I'm almost looking forward to Whirlit a little bit more than MSQ. Like, it's they're so close together on like my what I want to see more like list.
No.
Like,
it's gonna depend on how they play out. Like this last time, it was kind of like, I don't know, Whirlit, but I'm really hoping they just knock our socks off for this end part.
I'm excited for it. I'm really excited
for this end Walker part.
You know what else I'm really excited for is these adjustments coming to Dome and Mahjong.
Me too.
If you want, you can set the display name of your opponents initials now. Huge
It's so
game changer.
if you don't play triple triad and you're good at Doman, you can ship him with that instead.
We're just like sharpening like one of the mahjong
Yeah.
pieces, like what, like
Yeah.
prison, like what?
Games are serious business.
I worry about you sometimes, Zen.
Yeah, for me, the Mahjong updates are really the highlight of this entire patch. So I'm looking forward to these.
I mean,
most
I
of
was
all.
talking about how I was kind of like, I don't know, MSQ, Whirlit, but like Dome and Mahjong is just
Oh yeah, it
top
knocks
of the
everything
list.
else just out of the park.
right
So,
right under Amaranth Windows.
I would
Correct.
just like to say really quick, I'm not actually a murderer of any kind. These are all jokes.
I love that you feel the need to
Sure,
clarify that.
Sure, yeah, no, you heard it here.
Just
everybody.
in case anyone thought I was serious, I actually have no experience with murder.
I've never.
Zen definitely
clearly-
does not encourage
No.
children to commit
Wow.
crimes and
No.
murder. No,
No.
no.
Wow.
I try not to
Wow.
talk to children.
Just as a rule, I just any children, just no, I'm good. I don't need to communicate with them at all. New prizes are
From one
available to
terrible
purchase.
thing to the next. She's not a murderer, but she hates children. I don't hate children either.
and you're the one that pointed that out.
Yeah.
New prizes for MGP. You'll also be able to buy the Rainmaker Hair. Finally.
I'm curious to hear what do both of you think about this? Do you feel like, yeah, great, perfect? How do you feel about it?
I don't even know what Rainmaker Hair is.
It's the hairstyle that that one. I'm here again. I'm so bad at remembering
It's
random names.
it's
It's
got
the
like
one
the
that
big
that
poofy
random NPC woman from the Resistance has that has like the jagged
narrows
bits
it
and then
down.
the big like.
Don't we already
pointy
have
bit.
that hair?
Well,
It was a
it
limited
came
time.
out before, but it was a limited time thing, and people have been
Oh.
asking for it for years.
Okay.
And they're finally like,
I'm like, I'm pretty
here.
sure I have that. Is that what I'm thinking of? No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
it-
no,
it could
that's
be.
cool. That's nice of them to bring it back. I don't really like. I have it. I don't necessarily care for it, and it doesn't bother me.
I
if
can
other
I can
people want it
already
and they-
sense Rook's
back.
thoughts on this.
No, I actually feel the exact same way. I feel like
Oh.
it literally does not matter and it affects nothing for me. But the amount of people that I've seen on Twitter or other sources who are so upset, like how very dare they bring back a limited item? What's even the purpose of doing a limited run then? Why did this negates all the importance of the special hairstyle that I got to have? And I'm like, I see like 3 people use that hair and it looks good on those 3 people, but calm down. Like, I just don't get it. I truly do not understand why people are so upset by this. I mean, I suppose it's one thing where if we had the ultimate weapon aesthetic, right? Where that special effect weapon or whatever, they decided down the road, oh yeah, well, anybody can earn ultimate weapons now. You can just exchange enough poetics for them. Then I would go, no, not that.
That's not beyond the realm of possibility, though.
There are
They do-
certain
Yeah.
things that without like trying to upplay it a lot, right? That are like sacred, right? Like the ultimate rewards. That's something that I don't think they'll ever change, right? Things like the White Ravens, they shouldn't have handled
That's-
how they did.
Yep.
That one is a little bit
Um,
squiffy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they screwed
Why
that
it's
one
not
up.
beyond the
There's-
realm of
There's
possibility.
no going. But I think for something like hairstyles is different though to me, because it's not like, yes, you can earn hairstyles, but it's like I can get whatever hairstyle I want. I just go down and get it cut or whatever. Like it's like, because it's like a direct character thing and not just like fancy earrings. Like I process it differently, I guess, in my head. So it's like, all right, it's whatever to me. I'm
funny to
glad
me
that
because
it's coming out
I'm-
because I know there's people that have been wanting it. Does it impact me? No. Does it impact Vera or Hrothgar? No. So,
Fusion,
Well, I just came out
You're
to have a
banned.
fun. I came out to have a fun time on the podcast today, but I guess I'll just be personally attacked. That's all right. I mean, it's fine.
you're upset about
okay.
hair. Zen just wants to murder everybody.
I don't.
It's just hell
I
of a day.
clarified that.
Oh, okay.
Zen is a murderer confirmed, but like we're all just people in this world trying to just get by. So let people have the hairstyles that they want.
Should probably be nice because Rook could just be like, hey Zen, do you hear all that shit that Fusion was talking about me earlier?
Wow.
Next week we'll have another 3-person stream, but this time Rooks, Anitra, and Aldia. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I can just leave now if you don't want me here. That's fine. I can just...
No. Fusion, we
course
love
not.
you,
Of
even
course
if you
not.
constantly remind me of my ongoing Vera and Hrothgar pain. It's okay. To be honest
I mean,
with you,
to be fair, you brought it up first this time around.
I like being angry about it. I'm not going to lie. I don't
Speaking
want
of
it to stay
hairstyles?
this way.
Oh, I guess we skipped Faux Hollow, though.
Oh.
Available trial for Faux Hollow has been changed from the Navel to the Whirl Eater, which I called.
You did. You did call that.
You just picked the most next worstest one, and that's the one it's going to be.
They're like, what out of the list of possible trials we have, what could we pick that players have actually already kind of fought in the last year? Leviathan. Yeah, let's do another Leviathan. That sounds great. Yeah.
I'm both looking forward to and dreading this. This is the one I have like weird flashbacks. This is the one where I went with my static for us all to get these Leviathan weapons, and then once they all had theirs, they wouldn't go again, and I never got mine.
No.
Wow.
This is an old static, not my current static.
I think War Leader Extreme, I think that was the first extreme fight that I did. Thinking back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel indifferent about this. You know what? Like we talked about, I think on the last episode even, it doesn't affect that much. There's not that many great rewards from it. I mean, it's fine. It's fun. If you want to get back into it, or if you never did it when it was originally sort of, you could do all the mechanics and it was originally sort of minimum eye level and all that kind of stuff. It's fine. It's a little something extra to do, but again, does it really change everything? And am I super, super excited? No. Will it be fine? Sure. I mean, I'll probably have fun.
I'm sure there will be people that do the content and enjoy it. I probably won't even touch it. And that's
For
okay.
some reason, the original fights, the coil fights and the original primal fights, I remember better than any fight in this game. So, don't know why that is, being as they are the oldest and I have old person brain.
Is that coming from a 1.0 perspective, perhaps? Just because you played that and so those they stick out a little bit more because it's like these new things and
maybe? I don't know. But I feel like they were also sort of like the only things to do at the time. Like things were more limited back then. But yeah, the way to do those fights sticks out in my brain much more than, say, any of the Alexander fights. If I go back in there, I'm like, hold on, I gotta look at a guide for most of them. But like Leviathan, I'm gonna go in and be like, okay, I have to hit the tail. Also, check out the spumes. Let's kill those. There's some ads that pop up. Kill those quickly, or they're gonna put crap on the ground, which hypnotizes you. And I just remember all of that crap.
I think a lot of it too is because that's sort of the first experience that a lot of people have. Like you were talking about Fusion, you thought Leviathan is probably your first X that you ever did, right? So learning and like running a lot of those original extreme primals, I think is kind of the first time that a lot of people got introduced to some of the foundational mechanics in Final Fantasy XIV, at least how it was going to be from 2.0 on. And so there was a lot more stuff that you kind of were just like, okay, wait, so then that does what? And I do when? And that kind of like gets your brain engaged in a way that I think later on, when you're familiar with everything, you're just going, oh, that's like X, Y, Z, fine. Okay, and then this bit, I understand what that marker is.
On, like, curtailing off of that, this is in the realm of time when all of the markers for stuff that was going to happen to you were not the same. Like now, if you see that stack marker with the arrows pointing and you know what it means, back then it was like, Crystal Tower, for example, I was talking about this with my friend the other day. There's a stack marker in there, but it doesn't look at all like that. And it does something else entirely. And so new people die all the time to that shadow stack marker that becomes a platform in
in the Zandy fight. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was trying to think, I'm like, what mechanic is this?
No.
Yeah.
All the time, new people don't know. And you're just watching that one little sprout running off into the distance. You're like, come back, it's a stack.
It's very true. Mm-hmm. I would be curious. I mean, they are Unreal trials, so I think it's probably just going to stay to the trial series. But if they put something like any of those binding coil fights in there, that would be something that I would probably go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
I don't think they do that because I mean, back in the day, those 8-man raids had trash mobs. So do they just
skip
get
'em.
rid of those for the Unreal then? I think
Yes,
I think
they
they
could.
probably have to. I want to see Cape Westwind.
Yes,
We
Cape
know.
Westland would be
We
fun,
know.
especially
That should have
if
been like a special like April 1st release. Like, hey, we're gonna have like random like dot whatever patch, and they're like, also this is adding Cape Westwind Unreal or Extreme or Ultimate, and I think that would be hilarious.
I mean, that's where I really think that this possibility of content shines. I would love to see them do something like that, and then, yeah, make it so that it actually is a challenge. I mean, some of the fights, just the way that they're structured or where they fell in various patches or things, they aren't as difficult as some of these more iconic ones. You know, even now, if you do the minimum eye level, people still might struggle with a little bit. And I'd like to see them actually turn Unreal into something like that, where yes, maybe it's not the full-fledged thing of a savage raid, but they could take some of the content from those old fights and then make them a little bit more difficult or even add a little something. We don't have any precedent of them doing that so far, but that's where I think I would start to get really excited about Unreal, and I'd actually really want to do it because I'd be going, this will be a really fun way to re-envision some of this stuff that we've already done or mechanics that we just don't even see or that doesn't matter or, you know, whatever, and give us a new perspective on this fight.
Monty in chat said Binding Coil turn 3 Unreal. Or you're just doing the jump pads.
Oh, I remember turn 3. That was good stuff.
It was good.
I remember spending an hour in turn 3 going through every jump possibility
What?
because rumor
Just for
had
funsies?
it that there was a secret chest where you could get the bluebird earrings.
No.
Or minion. I remember that, yeah. Oh yeah, we explored every single inch of turn 3 looking for that secret chest.
Oh, you sweet summer
wasn't
child.
true. Wasn't true.
Oh no, I totally seen it.
It's totally real. All right, new hairstyles have been added. Again, we don't know where these are from. These are the gosh.
Yorha.
What are the names of the
9S? 2B9S?
2B 9S? I'm like, there's letters and a number. I don't know. Obviously, they're tied to the raid. Whether it's going to be part of the weekly stuff or rewards with tokens from all the raids, we don't know yet. Maybe it's a drop.
I think it's really nice of them to add these. I know a lot of people, especially people who like Nier a whole lot, were really hoping we would get them, and the fact that they put them in is very nice. I think 9S is a little lacking and kind of very similar to one we already have, but lots of people wanted 2Bs, and there it is.
Yeah, I mean, yep, I agree with everything that you said. Those two are the most iconic, so I'm not surprised that they added them. But I know a lot of people would have been real pumped if they'd added some of the other ones. You know, I mean, there are some like really cool, maybe not as iconic hairstyles, or is it 2A she's got the long hair. Again, that's a nightmare for them to realize for various reasons, but it does seem like lately we've had a ton of shortcuts, and I'd like to see something kind of long again, or at least voluminous in some kind of way.
Although, to be fair, we don't know that it's just limited to these two. Sometimes
I was gonna say it is possible that they could add more. I mean, there was that couple of patches where it was like, here's all the hairstyles from Type 0, and you're just like, okay, wow, lots of hair. Okay, great. I mean, they could add some more. We don't know, so we will see.
I like these little pull images, by the way. There's like 2 images and there's a bar in the middle, and you just pull the little thing back and forth so you can see both images, and it makes the stack of notes shorter. So whoever came up with that's a cute idea. Good job.
Yeah. They had this. It was on the MSQ one, so like right at the top of the notes. I've seen these before. It's nice. I don't know. Typically, these are used for like I've seen them used for when you're like comparing stuff, like if you're comparing like a PS4 and a PS5 screenshot or something, right? I haven't seen them used like in this with like 2 completely different images before.
Our next big thing actually does have the comparison.
See, yeah, that's usually what I see it used for, and I think it works better for that. But
talking about the new rings under mobs, and the first example is the ring that does not have any kind of indicator on it. And then when you move the little doodle-doo, they finally have an arrow that's pointing towards the front. So now you will know. I'm so excited about this on those absolutely no marks, circles, where the thing's face is, because some stuff doesn't have a real face and you don't know where it's looking.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I know it was brought up last week that for those
Yeah.
ones that are just a full circle that don't
It
necessarily
doesn't
have
matter.
positional. Well, but it does.
It does.
Because certain enemies have attacks that will still be a conal or a cleave or things like that. So
Oh, that's right.
knowing
Yeah,
where
we
to
did. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
position-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about
Very
this.
importante.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a nice adjustment, and you know,
I love it. Running through things like Bosnia and going in front of one of those stupid tanks that like all four sides of it looks like its face. I 50% of the time will aggro that because I'm like, is that its butt or it's I don't know, whatever. I'm going and I aggro it. So now I can be like, select. Aha, there's your arrow. Yep.
and then you realize that the butt was the face the whole time. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's okay.
The butt was the
Interesting.
face the whole time. That's an episode name.
The real butts were the faces we met along the way. So yeah,
Well,
there you
that's
go.
not nice.
I didn't design them to look that way. I don't.
Look, some people like butt. They might like those
Some
butt
people
faces.
like butts. Anyway.
You heard me, Zanidra. You heard me.
I was just thinking, you know, like the faces you meet along the way, but they're also butts. That's not nice. Sorry, keep going.
We're totally fine. Yeah, nothing weird happened here in the past 30 seconds. So.
I'm just thinking of the scene from Ace Ventura where he talks with his ass now.
Oh my gosh.
We totally skipped over Blue Mage. Saving Blue Mage active sets will now also save hotbar slots. So if you do a lot of Blue Mage stuff, that is very, very good. Brand new dungeon.
Heal in static on Blue Mage, and trying to do anything else on Blue Mage is like, and I don't have anything good to throw at this once I use all my primal abilities. I sure am healing myself though.
Yeah. Brand new dungeon, Paglithan. I hope that somebody pronounces that in a cutscene. But yeah, that's our new dungeon.
I thought they said Pogglethon, but that's maybe just what I thought.
Either of those sounds right.
But if you're really going to put that fantasy emphasis in there, you have to go like Pogglethon, and then like add a little...
Pogglethon.
On.
Anyway, that's a dungeon.
And anyway, that's the new dungeon. Just like everything else, the Shadowbringers, that'll be part of the MSQ. Really excited to see it. It definitely has that, like, we're gonna go check out one of those towers and see what that's all about.
Yeah, it seems to give the impression that it's going to like lead to that tower culmination, right? And what we're kind of seeing from the image is it does look very much like a lot of those zones, even in Thanalan, where the Amalja are, which, you know, falls in line with everything that we know about this. So it kind of seems like we're maybe running through one of their encampments on our way towards this tower. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
And fighting a bunch of lunar primals in the process.
By the way, like,
we've seen.
We have airships. Why are we screwing with these guys?
So look, I mean, you know, we don't have a great track record for staying on the airship.
You're not wrong.
If you think a couple patches back, we're like, hey, let's jump on this airship. We'll go from Yulmore to the Christerion. Oops, we got shot down. Let's now walk across the entirety of Nordfrant to get back to the Crystarium. Oh, hey, look, a portal. Cool. You just teleport us right to the Crystarium. Oh, we're just going a little bit forward. Okay, thanks.
We didn't even go
very
forward. We
helpful.
just went from the south point to the north point. It was the same distance away. That ferry is useless.
They thought they were helping. They were just pissed that we didn't ask them for help.
Yeah, that was it.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Yeah, we'll have the diamond weapon fight.
Right on the nose.
Yeah, the cloud deck. I can't wait for this fight. I'm super excited. This is gonna be great.
I just want you guys to notice they changed this image.
How?
Did they?
It's cropped differently. And he's got like a cape. But remember what I said it looked like last time? Doesn't look like that in this picture.
Oh, when you said that he looked like he had peebuses on him? Yeah. No, now it looks less like they're There are
Oh, yeah, they
shoulder pads. Thank you, Zen. Thanks so
they
much.
cut the tip off.
Yoshimi was like,
No,
oh no,
no.
what have we done? They called
I
us
forgot
out on
about that.
Aetheryte
Yeah, they
Radio.
just. I'm sure that's exactly what he was thinking.
No,
Like, yeah, no,
not at
that
all.
does look like that. We'll just cut a little off the top there.
I like how
That'll
you
be
said
fine.
peebuses.
The peebus is a way more fun word. I'm just gonna be
Peebuses.
honest. I'm a grown woman. I can.
You're not
admit
wrong.
that.
Yeah, so anyway, we'll also have the extreme version of that fight. World Eater Unreal.
He's gonna be doing like a laser attack off of one arm, and we're now gonna call that left peebus.
Peebus left, peebus right.
Yeah.
Dodge the peebus.
Yeah. Dodge the peebus.
See, this is why we need that data center travel to work, so we can just do this. We'll just get it all on comms. We'll just run it, and we'll just.
Yep.
There we go.
Got that
shoulder
money.
Peebuses. Yep. The mount drop for Seed of Sacrifice is going to be increased, and it'll now be purchasable for 99 totems if you feel like doing that fight 99 times. What a no! Why did they come up
I've
with
ever
that
done
number?
is like 96,
Like,
I think.
why did
and then we got our last one.
Ever come up with, like, they're like, hey, let's make you need an entire stack of these things to, like.
I actually hate it. I wish they would just reduce it to 50, to like 50 or something, because they're just, I mean, yes, they do retroactively make it easier to run those fights, and it is not nearly as difficult to get those clears. So 99, I'm sure, was kind of calculated with some of that in mind. But at the same time, like we kind of talked about with the relic weapons, as things go on more and more and more, and as like certain, particular mounts may not super appeal to me, or certain fights people just might not be running, or whatever it is, there's other content, there's other more exciting things to be doing in the game. I just find that I don't really have the energy or the passion or the drive to just sit there and be like, well, I guess I'll just do this forever.
I feel like
But-
I've made this comparison a lot, and it fits so good though for so many things. It's like, okay, you want this mount, you have to do 99 of these runs. It's like when you were like going to school and like one teacher gives you a lot of homework and pretends that like you don't have other classes where teachers also give you homework. They're like, no, my stuff is more important. You have to do this. And it's like, but I got other things I would like to do. No, 99 totems due Friday.
Yeah.
However,
it's like, oh, go ahead, Zach.
I've helped a couple of friends who did not get these mounts when they were current. If you go back and you like duo, maybe even solo these fights, like 2 expansions later, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, that's totally fair. You know what I mean? I find that it's a little bit difficult because it puts people in this predicament, right? Where if you want to do it when that content is still active and it's current, right? And you want to actually learn the mechanics and do the fight and have that bit of challenge, that's where it feels like that time investment is just so negative. Like, it feels so miserable because yes, you can get it on your second run. But like you said, I've had this happen before where I was on 97 and I got it to drop. And I was like, and this was during current. This is like when it was a brand new fight. And I was sitting there like, are you joking me?
In all honesty,
so
if that happened to me, I would lose my shit.
Well, yeah,
like,
but
it's just so stupid.
It just puts you in this weird place where the option then isn't to like run it while it's current and like encourage groups and like get people in and teach it and have like queues be active for it while it's something that, is recent. It instead makes me just go, yeah, I'm not super into these ones. I'll wait 2 expansions. And then I go back in and I do it later. But like you said, Zen, I'm doing it with like 1 other person. I'm doing it with like 2 other people. It's face roll, they're friends. I'm again not super helping queues or anything like that because at that point it's super easy. And it just, I feel like the balance of it is just a little bit off. Even if it was down to that 50, I think I would probably run it while it was current more actively, even if I didn't care about the mount as much. Just because I was like, whatever. I want to do the fights and I'll get the collection and things, and it's not too much of a waste of time, but it feels a little off to me right now.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get that. It doesn't bother me as much because when my static finishes our weekly clears of raid stuff, we go and we farm dragons or dogs or whatever the heck it is at the time. And some people don't want them, so they sit out and we replace them. But we go, 3 times a week, 2 times a week after we finish raids, and so it's not that difficult. If you are doing it in a static capacity. I understand that a lot of people are not going to do it that way, and it does become much more of a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, you can easily wait. I mean, like, I still have 0 burbs from Heaven's Word. But now you can go back and, go in with, like, 1 or 2 people, like, and you can go through, like, all of that stuff. Like,
Charles says it bothers him. He has to sit through the clears, and he's like, I don't want any of these mounts. But he's like, it's raid time, and I'm going to be here because I'm a devoted Charles man. But
because he is a good man.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I will say in chat as well, Charles says it is nice that after 99 you are guaranteed to get one, which I do agree with. I do think that overall it is a positive, it's a good thing that there are alternatives, right? That it gets easier over time to get them, that if you do farm and you just really have terrible RNG, you can get them after 99. Because I know I've mentioned before, but things like World of Warcraft, my partner plays it much more. I like dabbled in it early on for a year or two, but they like still have mounts in WoW that they really want more than anything, but it's impossible to get. Like, it's impossible to get them. The RNG on them is so ridiculous, or there's no alternative way to get it, or there are some that are such rare spawns. It is like a once in a lifetime thing, honestly, that you get that thing. And sometimes I guess that's fun, but other times I think it's just largely disheartening to most of the people who cannot get it or just have really bad
There's
luck.
also Mughal Treasure Trove. They like periodically release some of those in there, and I would say that they are easier to get in that capacity than the original 99 totem capacity.
Yeah, well, and I don't think we haven't had dragons in there, have we? It's been like birds,
dogs, up to dogs,
and dogs. Yeah. So I mean, again, though, that's another way that you can get those. So that's nice. Weekly restriction for rewards on Eden's Promise has been removed. The number of blades of lost antiquity that you need for a defragmented tombstone has been reduced from 7 to 4. We've got the new 24-man tower at Paradigm's Breach. That's the raid for Yorha. The following items, here we go, will now appear in a treasure chest allotted to each party of an alliance when undertaking the copied factory. The Type B material storage crate, Pod 054, Pod 316, the 9S card, the City of Ruins, Ray of Light Orchestrion roll, the Alien Manifestation Orchestrion roll, Song of the Ancients Atonement Orchestrion roll, Bipolar Nightmare Orchestrion roll, and Weight of the World Prelude Version Orchestrion roll. So it'll be easier to get all that stuff.
That's 8 things.
But if you're looking at this, you're like, that's nice. But what about Puppet's Bunker? Following items will now appear in a treasure chest allotted to each party of an alliance when undertaking the Puppet's Bunker.
Nothing. There's nothing there.
That's weird that they would.
That's a silly joke that Zen is making. It's like a fun joke. There's some things there.
Like the Tubi automaton.
No. I mean, like, there's nothing in the list. There's nothing under that header.
There are. I can see them. Do you not
I see nothing. There's nothing there.
I thought you were just messing around.
No.
I thought you were just doing a silly joke, and then you looked at me on your webcam like, Rook, why are you taunting me? And I was like, because there's
weird.
Like 7 things.
Refresh the page.
Okay.
Try refreshing. Yeah, I see a whole list.
That's weird. So the 2B automaton, the 2P automaton.
I was really confused. I was like, why would they include this?
That's the Fortress of Lies Orchestrion roll. Grandma Destruction. There's a track called Grandma Destruction?
Yes.
Yes, there is. And 1, it's a banger. But 2,
that sounds like it'd be like a really great name for like a rock band. We are Grandma Destruction.
It's like if you need to describe to somebody what the vibe of the like near games are, all you have to say is one of the major tracks is called Grandma Destruction,
Grandma
and that's
Destruction.
pretty much gonna do it for you. Yeah.
I'm like envisioning like just this rock band of all like old women.
Yes. I love that. Golden Girls, but like in a band.
Yes, with like leather
That'd be amazing.
jackets and
Yeah.
so great. End of the Unknown Orchestrion roll, and then the Torn from the Heavens Dark Colossus destroys all medley version Orchestrion roll. So.
Curly old lady hair, but in a mohawk.
Wow, that is a look.
I want this so bad. I want this so bad.
Well, you know, give yourself another 50 years, Rook, and you can.
One
We'll be
day,
back.
look, I'm saving it up. I'm saving up all of my nerdery so that someday when I'm 80 years old and still streaming on Twitch, I can be Grandma Destruction. That's what I'm holding out for.
Just set a reminder on your Google Calendar now, 50 years from now, start Grandma Destruction Band.
Right now, Bird of Chess. Later, Grandma of Destruction.
Great.
Yes. It's everything I hoped and dreamed.
Players will no longer be rewarded with cracked Stella clusters upon completion of the Puppet's Bunker, because they're probably going to move to the new one. And the following additions and adjustments have been made to the Bojin Southern Front. Players can now gain notoriety, which will be a new parameter that influences a player's chances of being selected to duel enemies. We talked a little bit about this before. That's how they're going to handle that. They've also they're adjusting a bunch of different critical engagements and stuff as well. Let's see.
I finally got to rank 15.
Good
Am
job.
I rank 15? I think I hit rank 15.
I'm also halfway through my second step of a relic cough.
I am 7 runs in
Yeah.
to Delabrum for my Dragoon, and it's just like
Fusion's beating us.
I do still want to get into Savage at some point, so
Yeah.
data center travel 5.58.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm also I'm rank 15. I got ready for it. I just have not actually
do
gone
it.
in to do it yet.
I'm here for it.
Let's see. There's so much text in here. My brain is just like, what? I'm
Right.
trying to like skim it, but it's so hard. The
Critical
if a number-
engagement, trample under hoof, will no longer appear at the same time as Where Strode the Behemoth, and the Fires of War will no longer appear at the same time as Patriot Games. So you can do
Oh
all
yeah,
of
that
them
was always
instead
an
of one or
issue.
the other.
That was always an issue, right? Where it's like, okay, this one popped, let's go in. Oh, there's this other one. Oh, the small number of people that are actually in the zone now are split. Neither will win.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
So
good fix for sure.
Especially as we get further into the content where there's fewer people doing it. This is really, really good. HP of the enemies in the critical engagements trampled under hoof and the Fires of War has been increased. Okay.
The next thing is cool. If the number of players who participate in a skirmish is lower than the number of players present when it first starts, enemies will be affected by hubris status effect, increasing their damage taken. So if
That's
people are
awesome.
like, "Here I am, just kidding, peace," then it helps the people who stayed, because
That's
you know
nice.
it like snapshots the difficulty of the mob when you get there. And this is going to be an effect to keep it from totally wrecking everybody's butt.
It's sort of the way that they have almost worked around the idea of scaling, right?
Mhm.
Where,
Mhm.
you know, rather than just having it be something where it is calculating behind the scenes exactly however many people are in there and then adjusting the boss to that difficulty, this seems like a way that they can be like, oh yeah, well, if somebody's in there and then people start bailing, they won't be completely out of luck. They
Yeah.
will be able to maybe
It looks
still make
like-
this happen.
They're also going to give people echo if the number of participants is roll small.
They are definitely giving this a good, like, okay, we realize that, you know, in another half a patch here, we're gonna have more content that people are gonna be looking at, and they're probably not
Ooh.
gonna be doing this much. So here's some new things to
Strength.
kind of help this out.
Yeah.
Strength of higher morale effect granted to players upon winning a duel has been increased. So before, you would get plus 50% metal earned. Now it's gonna be 100. So not only are they giving people a better chance to get into these duels if they need them, but if you win one of these, people gonna be your friend even more than they were before. And it's really nice because it emphasizes people doing duels, but then it also helps people catch up even more. So a lot of really great changes for this content. Completion of critical engagements and skirmishes will reduce the time remaining before a large-scale assault may be triggered.
Cool.
So
Excellent.
go in there and do things. It's not just like, okay, we're waiting another 60 minutes for Castrum. It's, hey, do this thing and Castrum will happen quicker, which is it's one of those things like that's nice that you can trigger it quicker, but at the same time it's like you jump in and you don't know how long it's gonna be. So that's all right.
People figure that stuff out, though. You constantly
That's
see
true.
people jumping in and being like, how long till Castrum? And then somebody has an answer for them.
Well, right, because it's super easy to calculate right now. But once we start adding this stuff in,
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Well, then you can say such and such at max, right?
We did this one thing. Yeah.
Or like, it just popped, or it popped 10 minutes ago or something. I mean, it is nice because
it's currently active and you can't join. Sorry, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing is that with that adjustment, I think all of these are so smart. They all really address the way that like people engage with and play content, which I think is, again, really, really smart for those who are going to be in there doing it. But yeah, like this even means that, in theory, if you have just completed one of those runs, that people could still come into the zone and start engaging with all these critical engagements and things. And again, start just eating away at that time to reset and get the new one. So it's not like a complete loss where people are just like, is it popped? No. When did it pop? Okay, bye. And then they just peace. Like, it is something where I think it gives you a bit of incentive, well, maybe I can't find one that like hasn't popped in a long time, but you know what, I'll just pop on it no matter what. I'm going to be doing stuff that might further towards getting it quicker, which is a good, I think
It'll help pop it quicker, but I think more importantly is it'll put people into that content theoretically, to help people catch up if there are people that need to get caught up, which I think is kind of a big part of why these changes are being made, so people can get their ranking and stuff increased before the new stuff comes out.
I did
players can now increase.
I did a Castrum the other day where twice people popped in and were like, when's Castrum up? And I was in the Castrum. Open your map and look. Get up right now. Goodbye.
Players can now increase mount speed. You can get a Motion Southern Front riding map from the Quartermaster. So that's
How do
cool.
we get it?
I'm curious what that'll cost.
I hope it's clusters, because I just have them just flowing on my ears.
Well, whatever the the coins or something, right? That would make sense.
That'd be fine too.
I feel like that would
Cost
make
lock
sense.
boxes.
Yeah. The following categories have been added to the Resistance Secretariat: Duels Notoriety, Large Scale Assaults, and Initiating Large Scale Assaults. Number of Bojan coins awarded upon completing critical engagements will now appear in the rewards window. I thought they did already, but I guess not.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
That's like one of those changes where you're like, yeah, all right. It wasn't
sense.
already? Okay, cool. That's yeah. The minimum number of players required to enter Delamrim Regine Savage has been reduced from 48 to 24. So I'll be really curious to see what kind of man, that's like doing half the amount of people in a Savage. Like, is that even clearable? Does it scale? Like, how does I'll be really curious to see how that works out.
Are they going to do something like they did with these critical engagements now, where if you're like lower the discrepancy or something, the bosses take a whatever punishment stack, hubris stack? I don't know.
It'll be really interesting to see what happens. I mean, I get it, and that's a good change, right? Because as time goes on, it's gonna be really hard to get 48 people to do this content. So this will definitely help that. Items required to enhance equipment purchased by Alec and Tomestones of Revelation, Crypt Twine, and Crypt Dusting can now be purchased with sacks of nuts, as well as
chandeliers.
Yeah. Hi, I would like to upgrade my armor. Here's a chandelier of nuts. Person's just like, all right, we'll just add this with the others. It's just like a stack of chandeliers behind them. And of course, the different coins that you get from each of the raids. I mean, that's, normal.
Charles is
gear
saying
upgrade.
that last night a group already did Savage with 24.
Oh, whoa, nice.
So they entered
Great
with 48 and then half of them left? Because
don't
that's
know.
the only way they could have done that.
I mean, yeah,
That's
maybe that's
alright.
what they did.
More power to them.
This was something that I wanted to mention, and maybe this is only news to me. I have no idea. Because it is normal that as we get through expansions, they do start like some of the other tombstone gear that you could acquire, right? As the
Mhm.
previous tombstones get phased out, those get moved to other vendors. Today, I went and I was looking for one of the, is it Dark Shadow? Was that one of the original ones? And then there's also the one that was from
Deep
the
Shadow?
Deep Shadow. And there's also the set that was released that's sort of based off of Ronkin aesthetic and things.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, but for this expansion, they've actually phased those to being exclusively hunt gear now. Whereas in past expansions, as far as I remember, I believe they used to phase it to where you could either get it through hunt reward, like, hunt currencies, or you could exchange like tomestones of poetics for those sets. And now those two sets are exclusively hunt vendors.
Stormblood was that way too.
Were
I
they
think
really?
Yeah, they've done that way before.
I think it took a longer time for them to do that, but eventually they shifted everything that way.
Interesting. I really thought you could still get those sets with poetics, but I must have just been remembering wrong. I went to pick up a bow
yeah.
today that was a Deep Shadow, and I was like, why can't I trade anything? Why can't I get the things to trade for the? And I was trying to look it up, and I was kind of startled by it. Herman says they did it with the Lost Allegan set in Stormblood. Interesting.
The very first set you got as well, I forget what it's called, but it was very Asian-esque.
Oh, yeah.
That
they moved
Eastern
over.
stuff.
Is it the Ryumiyaku gear, maybe?
I don't remember.
Interesting.
Ryumaki?
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
That's a
that
sushi.
sounds... but they've done it before. That's...
Well, just a little heads up, in case you were like me and you're looking for those and you went, wait, why can't I trade poetics for those vouchers that I need? Those vouchers and the weapons themselves and things are now like exclusive to hunt vendors. So that was just something that I didn't even realize. I just apparently missed that.
Yeah.
The hunt train is a good way to cap out the current thing for the week, current tome for the week too, though. So if you're feeling like, oh, I'm so discouraged, I don't want to go and get this, then if you need to cap out, it's fine too. You'll 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah. Castrum Marinum and Castrum Marinum Extreme will have Echo now because it's an older trial. Let's see. Paglathan is replacing the Hero's Gauntlet in Duty Roulette. This is,
I act like I'm going to be doing experts.
I mean, like one time and then never again.
I'll do it like 4 times. And then if somebody needs help.
Season 19 of The Feast will begin. New dungeon gear, which is very Amal Jah-ish. And then we got new recipes. I like some the dress in this is really nice.
Yeah.
So that'll be crafted, I guess.
Oh my god, that's also
luxury.
that guy. What would you say that guy's outfit looks like? I got like Indiana Jones, but without like a jacket.
I've heard Indiana Jones a lot.
I'm getting Indiana Jones vibes as well, but I'm not crazy about it. Like, I think I like the dress.
It'd look better in different colors too.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's gonna look good on certain characters when it's dyed and things. Yeah, I think the pieces are cute. I was a little surprised that they went for this almost like 50s-ish sort of vibe. That's not really something that we've seen in the game. And I mean, maybe it also kind of looks a little bit like baby dollish, or a little Lolita-esque with the female outfit at least. But yeah, I'm not sure where these designs came from, but sure, fine, they're cute.
Something different, yeah. We talking about Indiana Jones. They just they're gonna do another one. They confirmed 5 yesterday.
What?
Yeah. They had some casting as well. Yeah, they're doing another one.
Okay. All right. Well, I love the originals.
I forget
Yeah.
I forget who they said was going to be in it, but yeah, no, it's a thing. It's happening. Luxury traders have been added. There's going to be one in Mordona. Hey, remember Mordona? And Yulmore, offering rare
Mordona
and
always makes me hungry.
extravagant items.
Sounds
You don't
like
even have to
Mordona.
say it, and all of a sudden I want a donut.
Yeah.
It sounds really good. I'm getting really hungry.
Yeah.
Man.
Cool. I'm guessing
Um,
these are probably going to be those vendors that are selling the like super fancy
the
mount.
the,
that
the
they've
fancy
showed
things
off.
for Gil, yeah, the Gil dumps. So I'll be curious to see what they have. We saw like the gold Serpent of Ranka. We saw the what did we call them? The Jaundice Namazu.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Also, if the Great Serpent of Ranka is on the first, why would people on the source be selling a gold one?
Don't read into
It's
it.
a
Don't think about
legend.
it too much.
It's a legend.
From a completely different version of our planet. Anyway.
That's fine.
Anyway.
We brought it over. It's our fault. Or any of the other scions.
Crafted item level 510 equipment can now be exchanged for upgraded item level 520 equipment. So
Cool.
that seems new. Have they done that before? Because this is probably talking about.
Yes.
Yes, I have I was
Okay.
thinking about it. I have a feeling that yes, you could upgrade further crafted gear. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
That's weird. Phoenix Triple Triad card can no longer be discarded.
I have so many questions.
Right? Why?
What? That was the thing? Okay.
Are any of them discardable? You'd think so, right? But not that
here's,
one?
Here's the question though. From where? Are we talking just like as an inventory item? Was there something that for some reason allowed you to go into your deck settings and right click on it and be like, get out of here,
Get
Phoenix. We don't
don't
need
know.
you here. I don't know. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Resplendent tools have been added for Disciples of the Hand that can be obtained after crafting and submitting items from certain expert recipes. We just had the firmament stuff. We're getting another set of okay, interesting.
Gotta give those crafters something to do.
I guess. Yeah, I'll be really curious what the stats are compared to that and the Sky Steel stuff, or what Sky Steel, is that what they were called? I forget. Yeah, Sky Steel.
Gaho says it was an achievement card. So like you could get it once.
Interesting.
So that's why they're making it so that you can't accidentally get rid of it because then you probably can't get it again.
In that case, why would they put it in your inventory? Why wouldn't they just like you claim it and it just adds it to you?
Spaghetti.
Code is weird, man. Players can now speak with Count Charlemagne du Durandar to complete custom deliveries. New miner and botanist gathering points have been added. New items have been added to gathering points. Players can now confirm the area of a map where gathering points appear. The gathering log. Just in case we haven't gotten enough quality of life stuff already for crafters and gatherers. Also, the Fisher Action release list has been adjusted. You can now streamline the process of automatically releasing fish when caught. So if you're like, nah, I don't want this, go away. That's
forever.
great.
That's good fantastic. Though, because isn't the way you used to do it, like when the fish came up, you just hit a certain ability, and then if you wanted to get it back, you had to do something annoying. I don't remember.
I don't know.
But this seems way more streamlined. It's a list that you bring up, and you just the fish that you've caught that you know exist, and also ones that you don't know exist are all there. So it shows you like there's 10 fish that you can catch here, and of the ones you know exist, you can just click them and be like, I don't want to get these ever.
If it's not a sparkly shiny HQ fish, throw it back. Don't want it. Mm-hmm. Dolphins and seagulls will now appear while ocean fishing.
That sounds cute, and also
That
seagulls
was
are terrible.
that was a decision that they had their meeting, and they're like, all right, we're gonna do some more quality of life stuff for crafters and gatherers. What else do we want to look for this patch? I would like to add dolphins and seagulls to ocean fishing.
Apparently, they're going to
Okay.
grant beneficial effects to those aboard the ship. And it looks like, as I've scrolled down, there are also 2 new minions coming, probably for ocean fishing.
One of them
a
is
seagull,
indeed a
and
seagull.
one of them is a dolphin. So seagull and dolphin.
Oh, I have that bad the bad lip reading seagulls song stuck in my head now. Man. All right. Let's see. So when encountering dolphins, gathering point regeneration rate is increased, which is really nice, and chance of triggering a spectral current is increased. Yes, very good. That's a nice change. When encountering seagulls, chance of landing an HQ catch while fishing is increased. So that's cool. Fets have been added. These are those things for the Skyrise celebration that's going to be happening
Look
in
at
the
this
firmament.
picture. Just look at it.
They're just carrying giant Mughals.
Giant Mughals. You know how
Above their head.
during the fates, you carried boxes of rubble? It's just like that, except
Giant
it's
Mughals.
a giant Mughal. It is bigger than a Rogadin. It is.
It's weird because at a glance you're like, oh, there's a Lalafell and there's some Mughals like floating there. No, there's a giant Mughals in the background. They're being carried.
The Lalafell is carrying the same size Mughal as the Rogadin. Just saying. That
That is a
Lalafell is smaller than
strong-
the Mughal's paw.
That is a
It is
strong Popoto. Though
hilarious.
they probably don't weigh that amount.
Huh?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it
Depends what
depends.
they're made of. Are they like giant foam Mughals? Are they giant
They're
plush
papier-mâché.
Mughals?
Are they like
Uh,
balloons? Yeah, it's like they appear to be what I would consider to be stuffed animals, and for that, that's heavy.
heavy.
Yeah.
Now, if you look
That's-
at the palm, it's got little stitching on it.
Yeah, it's the same like model, probably just like upscaled or whatever.
Yeah, real
Um,
big.
so yeah, the Fets, you can use those. They're basically just like the Fates that were happening when the firmament was still being worked on. So if you have more
But cuter.
crafters that need XP, there you go. There will be rewards from these as well. So players that earn a sufficient rating in these will receive a Fet present, which contains a number of prizes. They can be opened in towns or field areas. One of them is going to be that antelope mount that we talked a little bit about. I think okay, so I take that back. I was like, because there was also like the other one, which is obtained from any in the firmament, so you'll be able to get those as well.
The one with horns is from the Fet,
Horns.
and the one without horns you get from turning.
If you want the white stripy horn boy, you can do Fets and cross your fingers and hope that the RNG gods smile favorably down upon you. If you want the blue boy, you can just be like, hey, I would like to exchange my scripts, and they'll be like, okay, here you go. The end. That's it. That's the story.
Yeah,
I hope you enjoyed
Yep.
it. Following the establishment of an Aetheryte in the firmament, players can no longer travel through the area via the face of the firmament.
I mean, it's nice that you can just directly go into the firmament, and you don't have to do the like hop to the main place, then go to the other place. Like it's good to be able to just go there and not have to deal with.
Yeah. New mounts have been added. There's my robot dragon boy. He looks so good. He's got like
could be a lady. Ships are often ladies.
Yeah, there we go.
There's well, robot dragon in all its gloriousness. Is that a word? Gloriousness? I don't care. It's a robot dragon. I need it. It shoots missiles. And there's the 2 people on it. You can see right on the back.
The second person kind of looks like a chair to me, but
That's a Vieira.
I think it's a
All right.
person. Yeah,
Let's
it is.
open this up in another enhance.
No, it's definitely 2 people.
That's 2 people. That's 2 people. New chocobo barding has been added. This is diamond weapon barding. And then
I
we got
like
the little
it.
seagull and the little
very shiny.
dolphin.
I think the
little
diamond
dolphin
weapon
minion.
barding looks amazing. I think that's super cool.
It's
I
all
dig it.
right. It's all right.
I love it. Personally.
That dolphin minion looks amazing though. It's
all right. It's okay.
The seagull could sit on your head.
A lot of the birds like sit on you somewhere. I really like that about the birds.
Yeah, that's cute. No, the dolphin minion is adorable. It's
So great.
neat
I mean,
little
it's
addition.
not as great as the shark, but
I
it's
was
pretty
kind of hoping the dolphin would be a mount, to be honest.
cute. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, another fishing mount, just a big old dolphin. That'd be cool.
You could just like hold on to the fin,
Yeah,
you know. That'd be
I
really
want that
cute.
now. That's really cool.
Sorry.
Why you gotta be like that? New
I think of good things and I think of terrible things.
That's true. New achievements and titles have been added for what do we got here? For gatherers. Certain duties now apply to the tank achievements.
All the new stuff.
The
Like all of the new stuff.
All the new stuff. The achievement rewards cannot be redeemed directly from the achievements list window. Just in case you're a new player and you're like, I don't know where to get these things. Oh, it's random ass NPC in Gridania. Okay, that makes sense. Now you can just open the window and be like, boop, give.
What's gonna happen to that guy though?
That's good.
I think they said something either during the live letter or but it was a little mention like, don't worry, we'll find him a new job. He's been doing this for a long time.
Okay, he gets to retire. Maybe his new job can be cake tester.
I want them to just like move him slightly over just to sit on one of those benches and you talk to him. He's like, back in my day, I used to be important. I used to give people things and it was
Poor
great.
old guy.
Now I just sit on this bench.
This is good though, and I like that the stuff's not gonna just drop into your inventory. You get to scroll by it and be like, I don't want that in my inventory ever. And
You still have to, you still have to claim it.
Yeah, that's true. It's I think it makes way more sense. The accessibility is definitely good, and it kind of makes me hopeful that they have kept their eye on achievements.
That's right. That's a thing that you've been interested in for a while.
Yeah, I didn't actually think I'd get so into achievements until I started playing some other MMOs that I think make use of the system a little bit better. And now it's something that I really, really genuinely enjoy, like hunting and pursuing in other games. So I'm hoping that maybe we get some more because it has seemed like for a long time, we really have not gotten much of anything of note in achievements, like a few things. And they recently updated some of the stuff with triple Triad cards. So now if you hit like certain card thresholds and you get all the cards up to X, Y, or Z, you get some. So I'd like to see maybe with the new X pack or with stuff moving forward that we get some more achievements that are actually worth working towards and have some cool new rewards.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because they're not an afterthought because they're actively adding more and they're actively adding rewards for them. But it's like it's just kind of there at the same time, like.
Yeah, and like the rewards. I have to go back through and look, to be honest, because it seems like initially when I was completing stuff, I got a ton of things, crowns, cosmetics, items, things like that. And then it seemed like more and more over time, it was like title. I got a title. And I did that achievement, but I didn't seem to get anything for it of note. So like, I do hope that there are like more achievements you actually want to pursue or complete and that are sort of in people's sphere of like, oh yeah, this is something that I would actively be trying to do or obtain right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like when I think of achievements, the ones that really stick out to me are like the PvP ones, but it's in like I will never get those kind of like thing, and not like that's cool, I'm gonna work towards it. It's I'm not sitting in queue for 30 minutes for each run, but then I need to win a run for it to count, and that's just no. I'd rather grind 99 totems. The following additions and adjustments have been made to retainer ventures. New exploration levels have been added. New items can be attained from quick exploration, and the amount of experience gained from a quick exploration has been increased at certain level ranges. So if your retainers aren't at cap yet, there you go. New frames are coming to Digipose, and the object option has been added to the character display settings tab. Remember too, we're also going to get some special stuff for FanFest as well coming up here soon, and they'll have that contest as well that will use those. So I really like some of these changes that they're bringing in with the stickers and stuff like that. You can see this example they have here. They actually have like the zone name and like the position, like where the pitcher is. Like that's kind of a cool little thing.
I like all the little sparkles.
The sparkles. Those I think have been are in already, but they have like.
I don't ever use GPOs.
I've played around with it a little bit. They have some Dome and Mahjong tiles and stuff, so For people that use that stuff, it looks like it's getting a pretty decent upgrade. So you'll be able to use homeworld title, class, job, level, coordinates, and if you want the copyright line in there, that's a thing that you can add. Let's see. Yes, the duties that can be recorded have changed. So, Puppet's Bunker and the Seed of Sacrifice Extreme. We're now moving in. Still the Puppet's Bunker. Freaking why? And then Eden's Promise Eternity Savage. All right. This continues to baffle me, and I don't understand.
Next.
All right. Good for you for changing one of them. Names of duties related to Gold Saucer have been truncated in the Duty Finder.
So you can read the whole thing.
Yeah. This one is nice. Parties that meet the minimum size requirements for Duty Roulette leveling can now be matched to duties based on the level of party members. So, the duty chosen, if you enter leveling, will be within 8 levels of the lowest level party member. So, if you have a party and you have somebody that's 70, 72, 75, and 79, the thing that you get is going to be between 63 and 70, which is awesome. It's going to be more relevant to the current levels that you are, and that's great. I love that change. That's so good.
This is also a huge thing because there was this weird hang up sometimes in duty roulettes. Like, I don't know how often other people experience this, but it definitely was something that I noticed when we were trying to run with people or like coordinate on stream or things, right? Where you'd get into certain queues for things. And then because one person was like at a certain level and didn't have whatever stuff unlocked, you'd get this recurring error message that was just like, one of your party members does not meet the requirements for the duty. One of your party members does not meet the requirements for the duty. And it wasn't their eye level. It wasn't anything like that. It was because something behind the scenes was causing this hang up where it would try to queue like the people that had whatever content into something on the roulette that was beyond the experience level of the other lower level person that you had, or like they hadn't unlocked it yet. And I think that this is directly them finally addressing this problem, because it would happen and you'd be sitting there like, okay, well, who doesn't have gear? I mean, how do you not have gear high enough? Who doesn't have this or that? And it was really just this weird issue happening behind the scenes that would sometimes hiccup and make it so that inexplicably you just couldn't queue together for something like those roulettes. So this is awesome, and I am particularly happy about this one myself.
The way I found to fix that bug, if it persists, is to just sort of pass party leader around until you find the person who has the hang up, and then the match will be to them, and you'll be able to go through. I'm really happy about this because it's just really freaking awful to be leveling in a dungeon and you get baby Sestasia and you're just like, this is like the longest dungeon.
This is worth my time.
I'm gonna have to sit through this whole thing. And I don't hate that dungeon. I actually really like that dungeon. Specifically when I get that one, I don't mind so much. We talked about this before, actually. Like, you guys said that you hated it. I was like, I like to turn my brain off in the low level dungeons. But if I'm actually leveling something, I would love to get something of a significant enough level to give me real experience, and this will fix that, and I love it.
Yes. Adjustments.
Oh, the other thing about that, sorry, is it's awful when you're learning a job. When you're first learning a job and you're like consistently like, level that is significant to me, dungeon that's significant to me, and then they throw you back to Sestasha and you're like, everything I was learning about this new job I've forgotten because I can't do any of it here.
That was my big gripe when I was leveling Dancer, is I would be like, all right, let's do Alliance, and then I'd get stuck into like World of Darkness, like a level 50 raid, and I'm like, I don't have any of my cool stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to use my cool stuff.
Yep.
Adjustments have been made to emotes. A search function has been added to emotes. The design of the tabs in the emotes window has been adjusted. Quick scroll feature has been added for gamepad when viewing the emote list. Newly learned emotes will be marked in the emotes window, kind of like they do with like mounts and minions.
That's good.
That's
an
awesome.
Icon indicating which emotes can be used with fashion accessories has been added.
I like favorites. Favorites is good.
Yeah. favorites is fantastic.
Because you know you have like that 15 maybe emotes that you use the most. Just ignore the rest of it.
Yeah. And then emote details can now display up to 4 text commands. So if you would like to do your Red Ranger pose A, it'll show you all 4 things that you can type. I didn't even know that there were 4 different things to type for that. That's like a hidden
to be
feature.
fair, yeah. Most of the time when I do emotes, I am just typing it. So this is like a second step to be like, what was that called again?
Yeah.
What was my favorite one called again?
Of course, with this patch as well, we're going to have the open beta for the PlayStation 5 version of the game. And we talked a lot about that last week with the live letter as well. Different resolution settings, high resolution assets, adaptive trigger compatibility, which is awesome. I love those triggers on the PS5 controller. New trophies, 3 audio compatibility. We'll also be getting those enhanced UI assets with the Windows version as well with this patch. And you'll be able to switch to those in the graphic settings tab of system configuration. It'll require a game restart for that. The PlayStation 5 controller can now be used on Windows. Haptic feedback not available. Darn. I would totally try that if it was. Resolution of certain fonts that appear in various menus has been increased. Font resolution of nameplates, fly text, and pop-up text has been increased. Not available with DirectX 9. Okay, that's interesting.
That's fair.
Default assignment for confirm has been changed in certain regions on PS4. Between X and circle, it's usually swapped for Japan. The idea of the circle is like the confirm. So if you've ever played one of the older Final Fantasies and you're like, why is this button confirm? That's weird, because that's how they do it in Japan usually. So they're starting to normalize that a little bit more. Let's see. New music has been added. Loading times have been improved when logging in and changing areas. And additions have been made to the auto translation dictionary. And that's it. We did it. We got through it all. Yay.
Whoo, the end. There it is.
Good job, everybody.
Proud of us.
So with the patch after MSQ. Well, I mean, I guess that's a given. What are the first things you're going to do when this patch hits on Tuesday?
24-man.
24-man.
Yep. But you know why. I gotta write a guide.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I was like, but you know why.
Do I know why? No, I usually hop into the 24-man very, 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 very first thing. Like, in the morning, 6 o'clock, should be sleeping, 24-man. That's what I'm gonna do. Then I go to bed. And then I get up and I look at the video for the 24-man that I'm gonna take and write down any questions I have for writing the guide. And then I probably go do another 24-man. And then I do MSQ.
Yeah,
But actually, before the 24-man, I'm gonna look at the furniture.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I think as soon as I log in, I'm gonna be like, all right, how can I get this Amarot window? There better be an Amarot one. If there's not an Amarot one, and it's just like here's like the Dawn Throne and Ilmeg, and like I don't know, Northern Thanalin, I'd be like, I hate everything about this.
I mean, I'll still love it, but there has to be an Amarot.
There has to be.
It's so
they can't
iconic.
not. They can't not have. Or they'll have a Tempest one, and it's just like the little Sahagin like area, and you're just like, son of a...
You can just see a couple of buildings in the background.
up?
They have to do it. There's so many
They have
houses.
to.
I've seen so many houses that are Amarat themed, and they like have a billion of the paintings like hidden behind stuff. They just have to reward those people, give them back all of their slots.
We see that you have used 20 slots to make an Amarot window. Okay, let's simplify this a little bit for you.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll have a restriction on it, like 1 or 2 projectors per house.
I'm sure.
They might.
Because it is one of those things where usually things that have some sort of graphical demand on them,
Mhm.
it can cause problems, with the way that stuff renders. So my guess is that yes, it'll be kind of like the fish tanks and that there will be a limit, but maybe not. I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea how they've done that. Other than housing stuff and MSQ, I'll probably hop into the trial just because I loved the story. And I actually really, really am excited for this last one, no matter what happens, because I think that that last portion of it hooked me. It just absolutely got me. So I want to know what they're going to do to
I
sort of
need to
finish
know
it
what
up.
happens to Milkman. I need
Don't
to
forget
know.
to call it left and right Peebus.
Will do for sure.
I think raid will probably be like the last thing I do. I'll still do it. I'll try to go into it with a positive mind set, but yeah, everything else is I can't. I need Amaranth windows and that MSQ so we can see Urianger die. I'm really curious how they're gonna.
Why are you so mean? You've been like ruthless to me and Rook today.
What? No.
I'm so hurt inside. Zen, are you hurt inside?
I'm really just. I'm keeping
you know
back
what?
the tears because we're
I said
live
earlier
right now.
I can just leave if this is.
Me
How...
too.
So thanks for joining us today, everybody.
And that's it. That's the end of the show. Bye. But yeah, I think that is it. I mean, is there anything else that we need to wrap up? I mean, I think that's pretty much.
Did we get all the news and stuff? There was a little bit
mean,
of news.
I feel like we got it.
We could remind
we're-
people of the date
Hatching
for
Tide.
FanFest, I guess.
Hatching Tide. That's right. I forgot.
There we go.
If you play Final Fantasy 14, the hit MMO that now includes
my
free
gosh.
trial, and you've thought to yourself, I feel like something is missing from my time playing this game. I feel like I need to be able to dress up like a giant chicken. Your time has come.
I'm really excited. Are you guys familiar with Chicken Attack?
I am not.
No, I'm not. No.
Okay. It's wonderful, and I'm going to link it to you as soon as we're done with this. It is a man who sings about how badass chickens are, and the chickens turn into ninjas, and it's really great.
See, I saw these and my nostalgia remembrance was thinking like Chicken Boo from like Animaniacs.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
That was my first thought, and then I went and like looked it up, and it like doesn't look anything like this. So I'm like, wow, what happened to my head? This is like, yeah, Titan totally had a go-kart levels of like, what? I didn't remember that right at all.
These chicken suits do look delightful. They do look like great meme potential.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
It'll be hilarious.
Just going through all these serious Death Unto Dawn cutscenes, all this stuff is going down, and it's like, what do you think, Warrior of Light? And you're just there as like a chicken, and you just give your stoic nod, and you're like, yeah, and that's it. That's how the final days begins.
Yeah,
thank you. There's also, I did see in chat, and I was thinking about it too, End of Mughal event comes with the new patch on Tuesday, so make sure you get your tomes if you don't have them yet, and you want to get anything from the vendor, snag them before Tuesday.
Yep. Coming up next week will be our hands-on impressions for the patch. And then after that will be our... What?
We were being hands-on.
Okay. After that, week after that will be our review for patch 5.5. We will be joined by Mr. Josh McGrath. He is the lead reviewer here at Gamer Escape. Gone are the days where I could introduce him as the one person on the team that does not play Final Fantasy XIV. He does, in fact, now play it. He is caught up, and he will be joining us for our review for patch.
It's only fitting
5.5.
that Mr. Review himself is going to help us review, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he always, whenever we talk about this stuff, he always disagrees with us. So I think it's going to be a good show where he just flip-flops everything we say. I'm excited for it.
It'll be interesting for sure. And so that's what'll be coming up here in the next couple of weeks. FanFest is going to be Friday, May 14th and Saturday, May 15th. It's just about a month out. Super excited. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. I have so much merch coming in the mail.
More?
I mean, I ordered like damn.
You had like a moment of shifty eyes.
Yeah, no,
We had-
I
or the
ordered like
shark.
everything that they
All
have.
I'm just jealous of the shark. That's all.
Oh wait, were these notebooks available on the NA store before?
Why do you have the store pulled up right now?
I was looking at the FanFest page and I just like saw the merchandise thing and they had the little activity books and I'm like, I don't know if I ordered those. I don't know if they were available before. There was another book. Oh, there was like a Namazu children's book. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Anyway, I collect merch. That's gonna do it for this episode of Aetheryte Radio. Thank you for everybody for tuning in today, and hope you all enjoy the patch. And we will see you here next week.
Bye.
Bye.